Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I would do the intro today. I messed up. I was I was supposed to come up. Yo, it's been 3 minutes. I was supposed to come up a long time ago, and I'm just like sitting here eating. I'm like, she's gonna start the live, but oh my god, I'm so sorry. This is not me, but listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome to Tuesday Night Show. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of things. Don't ask me what, because I'm not in a place to answer that right now. But I promise I'll have a bunch of commentary for you. And the show starts now.
You are now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Soonie and Mo.
Soonie and Mo, yeah. Soonie and Mo, spill that shit. Soonie and Mo, yeah. Soonie and Mo, sip like this. Soonie and Mo, yeah. You're my sidekick. You're my best friend. Wouldn't have it any other way. I don't even have to talk. You already know what I mean. Met you in another life. Cause you and I were so in sync. I'm never alone, I'm so thankful.
And she's still laughing. Welcome back, guys. Yes, you know how this is. We take time off and then we don't know what to do with ourselves when we come back. So just to give you a little backstory, we're sitting here, chatting it up about whatever. Suni's like finishing her dinner. And I was like, oh, the show's this was like 7:59, just to give you an idea of how much time it took us to get it together. I was like, oh, we got to start the show. Like, let me go in here and just like make sure that everything is like, but I know, because like when we run the intro, like we have to click a button, like there's nobody, the crew's got the night off. Okay. So it's us over here. So So I'm like, saying I'm going to do all that. And then Suni's like, you want me to do the intro? I'm like, yeah, cool. So I just kick back and Suni's like, oh yeah, hold on. Cause I'm uploading something. So I was like, okay. So that took a minute. And then she's like, that's taking too long. So just go ahead and start the live like we do and allow people to come in and then I'll come in. So we're both sitting here like this, right? Sudie's doing exactly what you see her doing right now. She's just putting food in her mouth. And then she messages me on the back end and she's like, are you starting the show or am I? And I was like, you said you were going to do it. You said you were going to do it. And then she said something else. And then I was like, all right, well.
Man.
Then she just hit go. Yeah. What would the show be if we didn't start out crazy?
Welcome back. Everybody's doing great.
Yeah. Everybody's doing great. We have been gone since before. Yeah. Since around Thanksgiving.
Yep.
It wasn't a planned thing. It just like Soonie had travel, obviously it's the holidays, we have stuff going on. My boarding business was super busy, so we just couldn't come out here. But we will have an announcement at the end of the show that you guys will want to stick around for. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for it because it is regarding the future of the show. So, dun dun dun.
Ooh,
hey, wait. Have you seen that new? I'm hesitating bringing this up because I kind of don't want to play this game, but I do because I want to hear what you're going to say. But have you seen that trend online where people play that game? We listen and we don't judge, and then they say something, and the other person can't have like a reaction or a judgment to it.
Yep. You gonna play with me? This is what you want to do to me right now? Go ahead.
No, you start first.
I don't have nothing.
Yes, you do.
No,
it has. Yes, you do. You have something about me where you want to say it, but you don't want me to react to it or judge you.
No, I have told you. I am honest with you. I tell you everything I think. If I think you're being ridiculous in the moment, I'll tell you you're being ridiculous. If I think she's being like a massive Trump tard, I'll be like, okay, here comes the Trump tard. Do I not?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. Okay. Like, I don't know if you've seen like the examples of people doing this, but like a lot of like boyfriend, girlfriend, husbands, and wives do this. And they're like, we listen and we don't judge. And then the wife is like, sometimes when I know you're going to like tap me on the shoulder to be like, hey, babe, can you go get me some water? I pretend I'm asleep. Or
Oh,
sometimes I stop on the way home and eat food and don't tell you that I stopped and I come home and eat dinner. Like
okay.
that type of confession.
Oh God. Well, mine is stupid.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sometimes before I have to talk to Mo about something important, I rehearse it and then I smoke. And then I rehearse it again.
But I know you rehearse things.
But they don't know that. That's the only thing I really do. I don't like, I'm pretty boring. I'm a very simple friend. And I don't have anything to judge you on. My first interaction with Mo was Mo literally meeting my family. Okay.
Yeah.
We're traveling and we sat down in the middle of an airport and had lunch.
On the floor.
On the floor.
Like Indian style with her
That's
family.
a dope person. I don't have anything to say. That's a dope person. Now, if you would have came and been like extra, I probably would have something to say. Like, you know, we listen and we don't judge. I thought you would be much different a person, but I don't have that. I don't have it. This is what I thought it was.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't really have.
See, you over there talking shit about me and you ain't even got nothing to say.
Okay, aside from the fact that sometimes, and maybe this is like to you people listening, we listen and we don't judge. Sometimes Mo looks like she's dressed from the waist up, but she's sitting here in her drawers. Okay.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Sometimes I just come on here and I just have like underwear, but today I have on pajama pants, so don't worry about it. Just to show you guys. Yeah.
We listen and we don't judge. My hair is a hot mess under this bandana. And I was like, I went out to go get food, as you see me munching on, and I wanted to smoke because I hadn't smoked weed in a while. I'm like, let me go smoke. And then I totally forgot about the show. I was just like, bopping around the house. And I was like, oh, my daughter's talking to me. I'm like, oh, it's 8:30. I am in my same clothes that I woke up in. Okay. Nothing has changed about Soonie today. How you see me right now is how I got up out the bed.
Okay, we listen and we don't judge. One time I was at Six Flags and I had on a wig. I had on a really cute outfit. Okay, I had a really cute outfit and I had a wig on, but I also had a hat on. And like, because I was wearing a hat with my wig that day, you know, like I didn't glue it down. I didn't do nothing. Like, cause I was like, I just need to like wear it like easy breezy. So when I get home, I can just snatch this wig off and be good. So we get in line for this roller coaster. And when we get to the front, the guy's like, you got to take your hat off for this ride. And I was like, but think about it. A wig that ain't glued down on a roller coaster. Mo was about to end up on a viral
Did you do
video
this the whole time?
No, even worse. And this is where the we listen and we don't judge comes into play.
Okay. Can I laugh at least?
Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna laugh. I feel like you're gonna judge. I feel like it's gonna be really. I feel like it's really gonna be a judgment moment, and you guys out there better not judge me. So stay quiet.
Okay.
So I kind of sort of told a lie and I said that I had cancer. I said that I had cancer and that's why I was wearing a wig, but that I couldn't glue down my wig because it was irritating to my head.
What?
Yeah.
So that person sent you on your way thinking you had cancer.
Yeah.
They probably think you're dead right now.
Well, he didn't know. He didn't want to shame me. Like, you see what I'm saying? Because he realized that, like, if I took off my hat, my wig would fall off, and then I'd be a shamed cancer patient. Okay, if your relatives, my mother had cancer, my father had cancer. I'm not trying to make fun of cancer. It's just like in the moment, I was trying to save my wig from blowing off on this ride. And that's what I came up with in the spur of the moment. We listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we don't judge. What else?
I feel like a weight is lifted off my shoulders for telling that.
What?
Yeah.
Have you been holding on to that for years?
Pretty much, because there's like a lot of shame around that. Like, I don't feel proud of it. It's not my proudest moment. Why is our chat not going?
I don't know. It's 17 people in here. Start fucking chatting.
Start hitting the like button and chat. Let us know where you're watching from and who's watching, because we don't even know who's watching.
Don't judge. I'm trying to think of something else.
Oh, now I see chats. I had to refresh it. Damn.
Okay. We listen and we don't judge. I don't see any chats. What's the last chat you see?
Click on banner and then go back to comments.
Vanessa Star. No. Okay. So in high school, I was a part. This is funny that I'm even doing this right now. So in high school, I was a part of the news media.
Yeah.
Like the production crew. I would sit behind the scenes, set the cameras up, do the intros, hand the anchor their like script for the day. And sometimes we would go out and get footage from the students on campus. I went to an IB high school. So we had a lot of people outside of the country come in because I was just it had a decent curriculum. So imagine this massive campus, college campus that a bunch of high school kids are on. And I knew this dude who would always dance in the quad. And he would do parkour. This white guy. And I ended up having a class with him. And he would bark because he had Tourette's.
Oh, dude.
So one day I saw him dancing on the quad and I said, "Hey man, can I please get some footage of you?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I put on some music for him and he danced. And I said, "Thank you. I'll be out in a minute."
Can I have a small bowl of spaghetti? Because I'm still hungry.
A little bit, yeah. Sorry, my daughter came to my door. So I'm recording him and then I go put it to the computer, upload it, put the background music to it, make sure we have a whole intro, right? And then it's time for the morning news and I roll the clip. And it's just different clips and different variations of him doing this like very odd dance. And I knew that it was funny and I knew that I was using it for my own entertainment, but I rolled the clip and all down the hall, you just hear a roar of laughter.
Because everybody's watching this in their classrooms.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I did. But you said you can't judge, right?
I'm not judging.
Judging me.
I'm not judging you. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So I did that. And then my senior year, I had another class with him. I had a Spanish class with him. And it was actually the senior exit. Every senior has to take a test before they graduate. So we were in there taking our Spanish test. And like I said, he barked. He would be like, "Art."
Art? That's how he would bark? Art?
I hope he's not watching me today. But he would make that noise. And the window was open in the classroom, so you can hear the lawnmowers going, you can hear nature going, and then he just said, "Art."
Oh my God, dude.
And I laughed so loud, I couldn't hold it in. I was the main person laughing, and my teacher was like, "If you don't stop laughing, I'm going to give you an automatic F." So I had to sit there the whole class and just go the entire class because He was barking in class, bro. Everybody was laughing, but I was the only one that couldn't hold it in. This dude was straight barking in the middle of it. Can you imagine all of us as high schoolers?
I can.
And your classmate says, "Arp."
Well, I had my first encounter with a Tourette's person, not in high school, but in my professional career.
Oh God! Oh my God! Okay,
And yeah, I'll just it has nothing to do with we listen and we don't judge because this was just crazy. But so I used to work for a medical staffing company, and part of my job was to like license doctors for temporary positions in hospitals. So oftentimes like a salesperson would call us on the phone and they'd be like, "Hey, I have Dr. So and so on the line. I'm putting him to work in Arizona and I need you to get him licensed. Like I'm going to patch him through to you so that you can go through like all the questions that you need to know." Because what we'd have to do is we'd have to do an application for that hospital for them. If they needed a license or any special whatever, we'd have to like do all that for them. So we have to always like go through and get any questions we need answered. So I'm on the phone with this guy, very, very nice. Like everything's fine and normal. And like I would ask a question and I'd be like, "So, you know, Dr. Smith, I see here you are licensed in Arizona, but it says here like that you need like a special modality. Like, do you need us to help you like get that figured out?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, that would be fine." And I was like, I was like, okay. And then I'd be like, "Okay, so let me just go through like the first few pages of this application because like there's some personal information. So why don't you go ahead and give me your address?" And he was like, "It's it's like 223 Winchester Lane." And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, why is this guy like yelling?" And he like, there would be like these words that he would just like scream out at me, right? So I was like, "Sir," I was like, "why are you screaming at me? Like, I don't understand. Like, you don't need to get upset. Like, I'm going to help you through this process." And then he told me he had Tourette's. And I was like,
You
"Oh."
felt
And
bad, didn't you?
yeah, well, because I didn't think Tourette's, like, I thought Tourette's was like how you described it. Like, you get these like tics and you like say things like bad words or like do weird things. I didn't realize like it manifests itself in many different ways.
Yeah, you can just blurt out words mid sentence.
Yeah.
This dude just made noises, bro. Like,
What a
okay, I have
terrible-
one more.
terrible. Okay, then we'll have Marlandon because he wants to come on here and confess.
Okay. Well, you go first, Marlandon.
Okay, we listen and we don't judge. So
I already know. See, we already know this is about to be bad. Go ahead.
I was maybe like 8 or 9, I can't remember. And my auntie was still staying with us before she had moved out and graduated. And she was like 15, 16. So she was going to take a shower, right? And she said she got to wash her hair. And I said, okay. She said, bring me the shampoo. She had like 2 bottles. She took one in there and was using it. So I thought, baby, I should go in there, stand on top of the shower, and post something on her hair while she doing it, right? Tell me why, after so long, she looked up, and next thing you know, the shower curtain and me fell in the tub, and she fell. I ran around so fast.
You saw a whole lot of ass and titties too, didn't you? You
I was
didn't want to
embarrassed.
see all that.
Oh my God, I gotta go.
Wait, how old were you?
I was 9.
Oh my Lord.
And she was 16.
Oh my
Dang.
God.
You're
All I heard-
bad.
All I heard was, I'm gonna beat your ass when I get out this tub.
That's actually kind of funny though.
That is funny.
And I got another one too.
Okay.
We listen and we don't judge. So this happened when I was in like the 2nd grade. So we was on the playground, right? And I asked our teacher, can I go to the restroom? And it was in the gym area. And our PE teacher always left the candy bars and stuff on the bench because she'll sell them come PE time for us, or towards us. And I decided to take a Rice Krispie treat. I didn't know somebody else was coming in the gym as well. It was a student, a classmate of mine, and he saw me open it and eat it, and he told me, "Give me one too." And I said, "I can't do that shit." Next thing you know, the PE teacher came in. I had to hide the Rice Krispie treat inside of a water fountain because it
What?
was one of them long ones, them tower ones, and play like I didn't know what was going on. I didn't get caught on them, but I damn near did. Because of him, he kept asking, "Give me one, give me one." I said, "I can't get you one, and I'm stealing two."
Oh
He
my
was bad as
god.
hell.
Yeah, I was terrible. I got some more too if y'all want to hear. So here another one. We listen and we don't judge. I was maybe like 6 or 7. My auntie had put out. It was cold. It was in about February. My auntie had put out her clothes that she was gonna wear when she got out the shower, and she had her shorts, her underwear, and a shirt. Tell me why I decided to take her underwear and throw them in the fireplace because I want to see flames.
Oh, you told us this. You're bad, bro.
Because you wanted to see flames.
Yeah, I want to see the fire. I got my ass
Oh.
towed up that day.
Dude, you were bad. You were a bad little kid.
I wanted to see fire. I can't imagine my kid telling me that. I just wanted to see fire.
But
Yeah.
you know what? Like that's the kind. See, this is the kind of stuff kids did back in the day to entertain themselves. You know,
Mark,
we
when
did
did
some
this?
cool-
When is back in the day? You grew up in the 2000s.
Never mind. Shut
Yeah,
up, Sootie.
I'm only 21.
Oh, never mind.
Come on,
Well,
back
back in
the
my
day.
day, we did some stuff to stay entertained.
And then,
Listen.
and then, let's not even talk about the fact that I used to climb up trees to scare my grandmother.
We're bad, bro.
Did you get beat like all the time?
Yes,
All the time. Dang.
That's
because
why he was so bad.
the stuff I did and said.
Yeah.
I could
And then-
imagine how you talk because the way you talk now, I could only imagine how you talked when you were a kid.
And then I lived with my grandparents. I didn't live with none of my parents, and they were strict and old school.
Oh man, you have one of those grandparents.
Yes.
Okay,
You definitely
Soonie,
got your butt whooped.
Soonie, tell yours.
Mine.
Yeah.
Okay. So this just happened to me. God forgive me. We listen and we don't judge.
Okay.
This person on Discord calls me. Never seen this person call me before ever. And I was like, this is odd. So I said, hello? I'm like, who is this? It's Kimmy. I'm just so upset. And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, can you like calm down? Because I have no clue what you're talking about. I was in the middle of making lunch. And she said, I'm just so tired of people saying they're my friend on Discord. And then she just like lets out this loud, "Ah!" right? And I was like, I put the phone down and I said, "Whoa!" like so hard.
What?
I
Wait.
laughed so hard.
Hold on. I'm confused. How did somebody you didn't know call you?
So when you're in Discord, people can friend you. You can send
Uh-huh.
your friend request. And then that gives, it's like Instagram, just on Discord. You know how people can call you on there?
Oh, yeah.
So she calls me and she's just like losing it. So when she does the first scream, I put the phone down. I'm like cracking up, bro. Then I pick the phone back up. And then she's telling me about, this is about Julius. Julius is going to kill me. She's just going on and on and on about Julius. He said he's my friend. He's not my friend anymore. And he did this and he did that. And I was like, why don't you just call Julius? Like, what do you want me to do?
Uh-huh.
Well, I just needed somebody objective. So while she's talking, I'm texting Julius.
Julius and telling
I'm
him
like, bro,
messy.
the fuck you got going on over here? So she continues and she's ranting and she's ranting. And she goes into this scream again. So I put the phone down and I just kind of walked around, did what I needed to do, continued to make my lunch. This is why I'm saying we listen and we don't judge, because I don't know if she was like really in distress, but it was just like not convenient for me at the time. And I didn't want to be rude and hang up. But I
That
also
doesn't
had,
surprise me.
what do you mean?
That you would
Now
like
we gotta what?
no. That you would walk away from the phone and go do other things because you do that on live all the time. Am I not right, people? Like, have you ever been in a Soonie live that started out with right? started out with Soonie, and then all of a sudden, all you see is that background, and Soonie ain't nowhere to be found.
Okay.
And then she'll come
Okay.
back like an hour later. She'll be like, "Sorry, y'all, I had to go pick up my kids at school." She went all the way down the street to the store.
Yes. But I put the phone down and I came back and she was still going. I said, you know what? Let me call Julius and I'll try to get this handled for you. And I didn't try to get it handled for her. I just called my friend and was like, bro, I don't know what you got going on, but this psychotic girl just called me. And then I was talking about it and she came into the Discord while I was talking about it. And I felt even worse. But I felt bad because that was a very traumatic incident I went through. You ever had a total stranger call you and scream at the top of their lungs?
No,
I thought this girl was legitimately dying. I thought something was wrong with her. I was scared. I'm like, don't do anything with me on the phone.
What did Julia say?
Well, we both just had a laugh and kind of didn't talk about it anymore. And then,
oh my God. Okay, I'm not judging. I'm not judging.
Speaking of Julius, y'all don't want to know what I thought about him before I got to watch him and see what he was about, bro.
no, we don't.
You don't want to know? Okay.
No, we're not. No, we're not here to talk bad about people. This is
No.
we listen and we don't judge. Okay, Apex is on here. You got something to confess?
Yes. We listen and we don't judge. Go, Apex.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yo, bro, hey, I just wanted to add on, like, yo, I was there when that happened, yo. She went into the Discord and started screaming, like it was insane.
You screamed, the girl.
Yeah, she screamed like that, just like that.
Oh my God. Soonie.
It was insane. And then she started crying. I was like, oh my God, no. What are you crying for, bro?
Y'all, Soonie gonna make content out of you if you call her. Just know this.
First of all, I didn't make
telling
content
you.
out of her. You see, Mo's breaking the rules. She's supposed to listen and not judge. Breaking the rules. Listen, I don't know this woman from Adam. I'm cordial. I have no problem with her. But that was a very traumatic time for me. And I was talking to people about it in the VC. And it's not like I hid it from her when she came in. I said, I am talking about you. I thought the way you called me was absolutely absurd. And what you called me for was even more ridiculous because you didn't call me because you were actually in distress. You called me over some Discord drama. So I felt I was justified in everything I did.
Mm-hmm. We listen and we don't judge. So y'all don't know this, but I have, access to it's a public software, but it's very because I have a business, it's very extensive, the amount of information I can get. Okay, so we listen, we don't judge. Back in my day when I was on Instagram all the time with fools like Mitch and Pastor, what's his name, Brian, all these shady people that were out here on Instagram, just know I ran background checks on each one of y'all, know all your dirty damn business. We listen and we don't judge. Soonie, don't act surprised. I told you some of the stuff I found, girl.
The silence is too loud.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I already knew this.
So that's why you never hear Mo be like, I feel bad for Pastor Brian. I kind of like Mitch. He's going through a hard time because he's getting a divorce.
Oh my God.
But
That
just
is
know,
insane.
yeah, but just know that was in the midst of them all putting my kids, my family,
Yeah,
like on social
true.
media. So I was getting ammo, honey. Okay.
They love to dox people. I see.
Right. You ain't fitting to mess with me and I'm not going to have something on you. So yeah, I never brought any of that stuff out and I never would. Okay. And anybody can get this information if you pay the tier that I pay to know. But I know if you got tax liens, I know it all.
Oh man. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that again.
It was fun.
I'm gonna say some wild shit though as a prank and see if people judge me.
Yeah, I was gonna keep it going.
You guys, you're on here to confess.
Yeah, you want to confess
Marlon-
your sins. You better go
Marlon
take
is
that
on
to the
here.
Lord.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, while I have two guys on here, okay, what is the
Mhm.
most annoying thing a girl can do that just makes you lose interest?
Burping in front of me, farting in front of me. Shoot. Hey, go do that in another room, cause you know what I'm saying. Ew. Oh, I don't know.
Acting
Um,
ratchet. I don't want that around me. Don't
You know
nobody want
what?
that wretchedness.
Oh, you don't want ratchet, okay?
No, and please, when you take pictures, do not stick your tongue out. Don't nobody want to see that.
Wait, like what? When girls are like,
Just stick their tongues out in general. Don't nobody want to see that.
why do girls do that?
Because they want these men to see what that mouth do.
Mm.
Same with them dressing. They basically dressing in lingerie now. That's not for the bedroom no more.
Well, what do you
Sounds like
mean?
some
What do
very
you mean it's
modest
not for the
men.
bedroom? But shouldn't it be in the bedroom?
No, it is, but it's not. They
Oh.
have made it publicly now.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, they're showing everybody their goods. I got you. Yeah.
They're
Wait,
being whores.
what?
So they're being whores.
Do you guys have? I know you don't. You're not married, Marlena, but do you have a girlfriend? What about you, Apex?
no, I
You guys
don't.
are.
Sadly,
Yeah, we single around this thing.
How long have you been single?
How old am I? 21?
Yeah,
Since I was like 16.
since you were 16. And what about you, Apex?
22 years.
Wait, you're 22, or you've been single 22 years?
Both.
Wait, so you've never? Wait a minute. You're 22 years old and you've never had a girlfriend?
Yep.
That's fascinating.
No, it's not, bro. I hate it out here, bro. It's lonely.
Oh my
Bryson would love
gosh.
him.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on just a second. I'm fascinated. Okay, so you've never had a girlfriend or a girl interest or anything.
I mean, I've been interested, but other than that, no.
Really?
Never. Yep.
Have you ever told a girl I'm interested?
Yep. They all said nah.
Why? Are you ugly?
I don't know. I guess so. I don't know, bro. I guess so, bro.
I mean, judging by your voice, you don't sound like you're ugly, but I don't mean to say that mean, but like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just some people that just are not like fortunate.
You gotta think too, Mo. When it come to men, it come with a lot trying to get with somebody.
Yeah,
It comes with a
believe
lot.
that. I believe that. Yeah. I believe it. Wow, that's crazy. Like, I actually think it's crazy in a good way, and I totally understand. Like, my daughter, she just recently became single. She's 23. And she did, I think, like a week on a dating app, and she was like, I can't do it. She said it's bad. It's bad out there.
these
So I
dating
can only
apps are
imagine.
fake, man.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp.
Yeah.
And they're
All right.
expensive. They're like $50.
Yeah. Well, she did like the free thing just to try it out, but like she was like, Mom, it's so bad.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's
So-
terrible.
Did you see my
Hmm.
comment, Soonie, about the pics?
The what?
The
Oh, yeah.
pics.
We'll get into that later in the show, yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly how I feel though.
Yeah,
About
we'll have to see.
oh, okay.
We will have to see.
Well, let's move on to the topics, guys. Thanks for coming on and confessing so
Yes,
we couldn't
ma'am.
judge you.
You already
right.
know. I'm
I'm
gonna take my
happy that
chances.
y'all back, man. It's been a
All right.
long time.
Well, stay tuned.
All right.
We're gonna drop some news on you. All right.
Well,
Where do we start? We have a lot. What were you guys talking about? The picks? He's talking about the picks.
yeah, Pete Hegseth had his confirmation hearing today.
Mhm.
Can't say that I was impressed, because I was not impressed. I thought the questions were lackluster. I thought they spent more time fighting political narratives. They did address wokeness within the military. They did address the LGBTQ in the military, but for the most part, the questions just did not seem to like You know, they didn't hit on anything. And there was just a few things that he said that absolutely rubbed me the wrong way. Towards the end of his confirmation hearing, I have a recording of this, but I didn't crop it or anything, so forgive me.
Okay.
But closer to the end of his confirmation, he lays out the hierarchy of what's a priority to him. And his priority was just, in my opinion, in the trash, because he named, here, I'm just going to play it for you guys. It just really bothered me to know that we come last in a lot of these people's minds, because they're too busy serving an interest, and they're too busy trying to line their own pockets versus taking care of us as citizens, right?
Yeah. Always. That's what they're always trying to do.
Yep. So here we go. I don't want to show my DMs. Can I put in a new tab? Nope, it'll just do the picture. Whatever. So this is one of his videos. This is the video I'm talking about.
340 or 350, but doesn't create the capacity to actually address it. And so if we're going to defend our interests, our allies, and put America first, we're going to have to be able to project power.
Did you already say?
No, it was
Did
kind
you
of
not
low.
hear it? Okay.
Play it again.
I don't have the ability to cut it up. I'll try it again.
First, we're going to have to be able to project power. 340 or 350, but doesn't create the capacity to actually address it. And so if we're going to defend our interests, our allies, and put America first, we're going to have to be able to project power.
Did you already say?
340 or 350.
Yeah.
But doesn't create
So the
capacity
first thing that
actually
comes to my mind, right, is what do you mean when you say we're going to defend our interests, our allies, and then we're going to put America first? Like, what does that mean? And I'm only bringing this up because within the confirmation hearing, someone in the background, the heckler, says he's a Zionist, he's a Christian Zionist, and he responds to that because a representative brings it up, and this is what made it even worse for me. Upon watching this, I actually cut it off after I heard what I just played you. I didn't watch it anymore. I cut it off. So here's how he responded to the Christian Zionists.
First one accused you of being a Christian Zionist. I'm not really sure why that is a bad thing. I'm a Christian. I'm a Zionist. Zionism is that the Jewish people deserve a homeland in the ancient Holy Land where they've lived since the dawn of history. Do you consider yourself a Christian Zionist?
Senator, I'm a Christian, and I robustly support the state of Israel and its existential defense, and the way America comes alongside them is a great ally.
Thank you. Because another protester, and I think this one was a member of Code Pink, which, by the way, is a Chinese Communist front group these days, said that you support Israel's war in Gaza. I support Israel's existential war in Gaza. I assume, like me and President Trump, you support that war as well, don't you?
Senator, I do. I support Israel destroying and killing every last member of Hamas.
What?
Now.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. Wait. First, let me just say this: was it just me, or was that like a very creepy interaction?
It was a creepy interaction because they were making a statement. They were making a statement. I'm proud to be a Zionist. What do you mean you're proud to be a Zionist? Like, what does that mean? Yeah, I'm proud of this. Aren't you proud of it? And then they go on to talk about how I want to get rid of every single Hamas leader. Does that even sound realistic to you? And this is going to be the head of defense. Okay.
Yeah.
Secretary of the Department of Defense. Now, like I said earlier, he absolutely said things that I agree with. He said things that I said, okay, that's good. But he also said a whole lot of other stuff. Like the American interest comes first.
Mhm.
In order to serve the American interests, our allies, and the American people, this has happened. Why are we dead last? Why do allies come
Right.
before the citizens? Why do your
Oh,
interests come before the citizens?
that's how it's been always. If you look back at
Crazy.
history, it's how it's always been. They're just keeping it consistent, right?
that
That's crazy. I didn't
is
see
crazy,
that
right?
part. That is like no, when I say that that was a very creepy interaction, that was a very creepy interaction because it almost seemed like the guy that was like asking him those questions was like, "Right? Right? You
Yep,
believe this, right?" And the guy was like, "Absolutely, I believe." Like it was just
absolutely.
like like I don't know about you, but I got the whole salute to you know who.
I'm like,
Like,
yeah, kiss the
did you
ring.
not get that? He
Yep,
kissed the ring. No,
absolutely.
I can't do
Oh, I know
the
what you mean. I know what you
I
mean.
can't do that, but that's
Are you
exactly
talking
what
about
I
the mustache man?
this must like the hand signal that those who followed the mustache man threw up in the
Mhm.
air and they said what they said, their allegiance to him. Okay. That's literally what that sounded like to me.
Oh, I got something better for you. Okay. This is something that I played a long time ago when they first mentioned his name, and everybody was like, "Why can't we just wait and see what happens? Why are you being negative? I don't want to say anything bad about his picks right now." Okay, listen to this.
Anyone that wants to take the stage and talk about dual loyalty is dead wrong. What this organization represents, what Western civilization represents today, is an understanding that Zionism and Americanism are the front lines of Western civilization and freedom in our world today.
Yeah, I know. You know, I know. This is why what we're going to be talking about a little bit later in the show. That's kind of how this is why I have kind of come to the place I've come to, Suni, is because I am realizing it is a clown show. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how much time I have spent talking about these people, researching stuff, only for it to just be completely opposite of what I know. So it's like now it's come to the point where it's like, okay, well, I can't spend my time researching on social media. I literally have to go back and read books that were written a very long time ago to
Yeah,
understand what this is all about.
yeah,
And yeah, it's a lot and it's exhausting.
it is.
That's why if you guys
How's
wonder
it feel
why
to be me?
I know. If you guys wonder why I haven't posted that much on
Yeah,
my socials, this is why. This is
yeah.
why.
This is not meant to be a Debbie Downer show. You know,
No.
I'm trying to. I every time I come live, and Mo can vouch for this. I always do my best to bring a completely objective, factual, factually based show to you. Anything I say, it's because I have read about it extensively. I don't come on here just spewing narratives. I just don't do that. And it is getting daunting. Even somebody who's read half the stuff you're talking about or looked into it,
Yeah.
it's never ending
Yeah.
because it's a multifaceted issue, and we're not fighting a small entity.
Mhm.
Americans need to understand that we are up against a global regime.
Yeah.
These people are global. So
Yeah.
we are serving that interest. And I think a lot of people are starting to come to terms with this is not what I thought it was, especially the military.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just you guys just I hate to say, okay, I love that President Trump is president. Do I think that he is a perfect person? Do I think that he's going to make all the right moves? Absolutely not. And I think I've stated that fairly from the beginning. Did we need him over what we had? Absolutely. Was there any other option? No, there wasn't. Okay. That being said, I hope that when you guys like look back at this show and everything that Suni and I have said either together or individually, you don't look at it and go, well, they really switched positions quite a lot. Like, you know, I could have sworn Soonie said this and now she's saying this. I hope that that's not what you guys remember, because I think my biggest frustration is, and I know Soonie hit this a long time ago, is people that I really, really respect. Okay, respected as influencers, but I
Mhm.
respect them as people because I view those two things differently. Okay, who you are
Mhm.
as an influencer and who you are as a person rarely line up, because there's a part of you that you're always going to keep
Right.
away from the spot from the public. But there are people that I really, 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 really respect that I'm like, you're flat out lying to people right now, like telling them this, that, and the other, when I can go back and look at a video that you made saying something completely different. But because it is now kind of cool, thank you to
Mhm.
Candace, not, not Soonie, because when Soonie was saying it, it wasn't cool. But now
Right.
cool to question Israel, right? Now it's kind of cool to be like, huh, it is kind of weird that you can't say anything about Israel that's negative, that doesn't align with what they want you to say and not get canceled.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It's not cool. Now all of a sudden people are questioning, well, wait a minute, is Elon Musk really for our side?
Do you
Everybody,
remember when Bryson wrote a song, Dear
yeah,
Elon? You
yes.
know what he did? He brought that song right back up.
Did
And
he?
he brought it right back up and he said, I told y'all about Elon a long time ago. And then he
Yeah.
busts out into a song that when I think that video went viral, but I get where you are. And I'm almost there. I don't know if
Yeah.
you could tell. People can probably tell. I
Yeah.
am like this close
Mm-hmm.
to just saying, you know what? There's no point.
Well, yeah, because like I feel like at this point, it's like, are we just like entertainment for people? Like, is it just for you to fucking like laugh at this shit? Because like I don't know about you, but I started out doing this for a very serious purpose. It like made
Yep.
me
My
feel like I
children.
was a part of something, talking about something like, oh, like I feel like people back in history that were like fighting things and pushing against narratives. And now I just feel like we're just characters like in this.
Like
We're just
NPCs,
yeah,
non-playable characters.
we're non-playable characters. And I'm yeah.
I'm right there with you. I mean,
Ah,
honestly, that's what this show should be about. It is. We can
yeah.
talk to you about all of the current events you'd like. I have 6 pulled up here in front of me. But what does it really mean? If no one's going to go participate in local politics, if no one's going to go participate in school board meetings, city council meetings, and all we do is twice a week you convene and you watch me and Mo give our perspectives, and I go out and do these things. I'm very much involved in my children's education. I homeschool one of my children. I'm doing my part, but I can't do it by myself. She can't do it by herself. We have to have influencers that are willing to take a pay cut, like straight up, because
Yeah.
everything that has been purported in these last 4 years, and you guys have seen a dramatic change in me. You wonder why. You wonder why. Things on the right are just as messy as things on the left. And I
Mhm.
and I can't stress that enough. You're
Yeah.
voting for the lesser of two evils is what you're doing. Now, I'm not a person who puts my faith in Trump. That's just not me. There's only one person that I have my faith in. I'm not going to talk bad about the guy because he had a decent 4 years until COVID.
Yeah.
He's a good president. He made a lot of promises. He kept a lot of promises. And he actually came in and put a light on a lot of things that we weren't necessarily talking about, or things that were conspiratorial for people that had been speaking about this. But Trump, the swamp is the uniparty. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. It's exhausting. And let's talk about this for a second. And this might be a little slight change in topic,
Yeah.
but like this is an example of what I'm talking about. So the California wildfires came about,
Mhm.
right? So I was like in my silence, just sitting back, and I was getting hit left and right with people like, here, can you repost this? Can you repost this fundraiser? Can you pray for # pray for whatever? And I said, okay, here's the thing about it. I have family, friends, people that I love in California, and I would hate for this to be happening to them. Okay. Some of my friends were in LA. And it sickens me that they could lose everything, right? Be out on the street. Sickens me. Okay. And I pray for those people. And I posted this. I said, but I'm sorry. We are not going to pretend like the big problem here is the people that run that state. Okay, yes, it's a possibility that Mother Nature decided, as she often does in California, that the ground was dry and it's time to start a fire because we got to, strip the earth. And it got out of hand. But then as we started to see these fires skip complete neighborhoods and look really sporadic as to how they were, showing up, I said, this is clearly not Mother Nature or global warming. This is probably intentional. And then out came a video of what looked to be an illegal or somebody of some type of ethnic descent getting arrested for starting fire. So I just started pointing out, I was like, this is why your local elections really do matter. So when you guys say, oh, well, I'm not political, I don't really get into politics. This is what comes of that. When you say, oh, the Dems steal elections, so I didn't go out to vote because they're going to steal it anyways. Even though there were some complete, cities that got flipped or precincts that got flipped completely from Democrat to Republican. But yeah, let's go with election integrity and stolen election, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I put this, right? People were in my inbox and they were like, unfollowing you. I can't believe you would be so insensitive to wish death on people. And I'm like, hold up. Did I freaking say I wish death on people? No, I didn't say that. Get out of your feelings. I'm again, if you want to get the hashtag pray for LA, hashtag donate to this, go to your grandmother's Instagram page. I am an influencer account. My whole purpose is to make you think.
Right.
Okay. I'm not here to talk about my personal tie to California. Okay.
Right.
And I prayed for my people in California. And I would donate to them personally to help them out. But I'm sorry, I am not going to sit here and say prayers for people who voted for the bullshit that happened and is still happening over there.
Listen. Oh, man. Hello, Soonie, Freedom, and Cash sent me. What up, Mr. Wild Wolf? Shout out to Cash and Freedom. I'm going to get back into it. We'll get into more of why we're both just in this space. Mo is she's more far off than I am. But
hashtag unfollow Mo. Yes.
The fact that people get upset with you because you're not willing to, fake virtue signal and pretend like you care is absurd. Oh, Mrs. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's wild. It's just virtue signaling.
It is.
Honestly. And nothing we say or do is going to fix those people's problems. And I didn't go live. Remember I told you I was going to go live and say what I thought about the whole California fire.
Yeah.
Someone asked me, I didn't go live and rant about it, but someone asked me, hey, Soonie, what do you think about these fires? And I said, I think it's God's judgment on California. That's what I think.
Right?
I don't know if you guys saw this radar of California, the fire starting on the radar. Has anybody seen this?
Right here, no, I didn't see this.
So these are the fires that are starting that started in California. And you can see one of them starts over here, and then there's two over here that start.
Mm-hmm.
When you say Mother Nature, to me, that is the Lord's judgment.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think it is. I think California has been doing disgusting, perverted things when it comes to children and just adults themselves. That place is wicked. Hollywood is wicked. The entertainment realm is wicked. The governor is not doing anything to help the citizens. So this is something that I think naturally occurs. When there's moral decay, stuff starts to fall apart, things start to not get taken care of. The priority is being woke, DEI, and now we have a bunch of people's homes on fire. And I'm like you, I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
You wanted to stay here. It sucks that your home burned down. It's really unfortunate, but I have nothing to say on this fire. That's what I told them.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say on this fire.
It's unfortunate. And you know what? You know what really set people, no pun intended, ablaze in my fucking inbox was when I said hashtag Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. And I said, go research it. Because for real though, because you know why? People were like, somebody who's a godly woman would never wish death and destruction on people. And I'm like, where are you getting that I'm wishing? Number one. And number two, did you not forget that our God was a vengeful one? Because let me tell you about Sodom and Gomorrah, where somebody, you know, the people and the names, but they said, you gonna blow up the whole city with everybody in it, even the good
Lot
ones?
and his wife.
And
he gave him a chance. He said, you can leave, go ahead, but don't look back.
Yeah.
What'd the wife do?
She looked back. That would have been me, girl. I would have been like, wait, don't look back. Hold up. I would have looked back. I'm just saying though, like, why do people think that this could not be something from God? Because doesn't God even use people to set things like fires, maybe to say, okay, we gonna learn a lesson here. I tried to warn you people, and then you had a whole election and y'all still voted for this mess. And that was the other thing that I said. I said, look at Maui. They done burned the whole damn island down. Everybody told them what was what. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went to their election and voted Democrat.
Yep.
Democrat. Okay. One more point and then I'm done with this. You can, okay. And this is to open your eyes to people, okay? And the inconsistency. I saw some influencers saying, it's terrible what's going on in Los Angeles. This is not about politics. This is human life, okay? People are suffering. When those same people, crime in the streets, grocery store prices are high, gasoline is high, people getting evicted, they can't afford to pay their bills. Guess what they were saying? Hashtag, oh, well, you voted for it. But those same, right? But aren't innocent people suffering who didn't vote for it in those same cities? Why does the same thing not apply?
Yep.
I'm telling you, it's because hashtagging Pray for Los Angeles, reposting GoFundMe's is making people money.
Yep.
You getting cut off something to be able to post this much. Because you would have seen one link from me and I would have been like, y'all saw the link. I saved it in my highlights. You ain't seen it again.
Yep. That's facts.
Yeah.
Somebody got to say it. Nobody else wants to be honest and say it. I'll say it. I was going to say it. I'm actually shocked to hear how, like, on the same page we are. And we hadn't even, I saw you at the airport that day.
Yeah.
And then I was whisked away. Hadn't talked to you in a while. I think yesterday was like the first time we really spoke on the phone.
Yeah.
We hadn't even talked about any of the social issues, anything going on in politics or like current events wise. But for people that interpret information in politics completely two different ways, be able to consistently meet in the middle on all these topics, I think that's saying something, y'all.
It means we're logical.
That,
we're two logical people.
It's getting to the point where honesty is not palatable. I used to accept when people said that I was not palatable. And I'm mad that I did that to myself because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not saying anything absurd. I'm just saying the truth. And this is, I've been saying the truth for years, and that's been labeled unpalatable, and not even by the left.
Yeah.
By people who are supposed to be on the same side as me, which is what's even worse. And it puts a I think I was talking about this yesterday. I said, I don't want to be bitter with knowing I said something 6 months to a year ago and then watching Candace say the same thing I said and get 2 million views on it. And then the same people that trashed me are now respecting something that she said. I don't really understand it, but it makes you jaded.
Yeah. It
Makes you
does,
jaded.
because like I thought it's cool, right? Like to be unique and go against the status quo, not just to go against it, but like
Yeah.
to be like the one person that's actually saying something different, right? Which is weird because like you say it and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. And then Candace says it and they're like, Candace is the best. Let me repost this video. And I love Candace, but it's like, why is it that when she says it, it's like received so much differently? Is it just confirmation? I don't know.
I think it's
But
confirmation bias.
maybe it is. And maybe it's from somebody that people like respect and like
Respect.
it's just an algorithm thing. I
Yeah.
don't know. But
It is what it is.
it's upsetting. It is so upsetting sometimes because like I see people that we kind of like work alongside and like they're all posting the same stuff.
Exact
Their
same
their
thing.
their thumbnails look the same. Their topics are the same. They even dress the same. Okay? They literally look like one is just waiting in the wings to take the place of the other when the other one falls out or moves on to bigger and better things. Like that's, I feel like if you're not doing that, then you're not going to grow in this industry.
Yeah. Everybody's just lining up, waiting for their turn to like play the
Yeah.
status quo position.
Right.
You know, I agree with that. I think that's actually a great analysis. But a part of me keeps holding on to some sort of optimism
Mm-hmm.
of this type of commentary becoming the norm because things are going to be so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And I think because of how many people absolutely reject what's happening over in Ukraine, because there's more Americans that are paying attention to like a foreign policy, and we have social media for people my age, I'm 34, younger, your age, to get on here and say these things, it's becoming more palatable.
Yeah.
And I'm going to send you this. I keep forgetting to send you this, but Christmas, I sat across the table from a Vietnam veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my grandfather via my husband. So this is my step grandfather-in-law, right? He probably hadn't seen me since we were teenagers. It's been a long time. And when I seen him, I was like, man, he got older. He didn't even look the same. And he just gave me the biggest hug ever. And he was like, thank you for what you do. And then we sat down and we had dinner. And he told us the most heart-wrenching story about being a veteran in this country. How he fought wars and killed people for no reason.
Yeah.
He talked to me about how they tracked who were the winners, and it was based on who caused the most death. They never went there and conquered land. They never went there and expanded. They never went there and established democracy. They sent soldiers there to watch people be brutalized. He told the most heart-wrenching story, I'm getting teary-eyed, about watching the prime minister, the leader in that country, get up in the helicopter, okay, and obliterate the citizens. And they had to sit there and do nothing.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to feel about our government, our military, because I'm looking at that. And then he started bringing up several different presidents, and he started teaching me. I actually learned about him. I mean, through him, he said, look, anytime there's something going on overseas, you need to look and see what happened here at home. So the first thing after the T attack in New Orleans, nice segue. I looked up, I went to CENTCOM, and you guys can do this. CENTCOM. This is where you can read counterintelligence moves that they've already done. They make it public for us to view. We had struck an ISIS leader, unalived him, and continued to bomb. Not even a week later, there's a T attack in New Orleans that nobody is taking serious. Now we're starting to hear of sleeper cells. They just found a sleeper cell with C4, weapons, bullets, and a whole bunch of other things just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting back like what do I go live and talk about now? Because I don't feel comfortable going live talking about these like corny, oh, Trump's not racist. Like, I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Right. Yeah.
What do I go live and talk about now?
Exactly. Well, I don't know because honestly, like the numbness to it all kind of started with like when Trump got shot. That's when I really started to like notice it. Was like that was so at first, like I was like when it first went down, I was like super emotional. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a turning point for our country. Like,
yes,
they just tried to execute an ex-president in front of people. Like, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became merch and hats, and Trump started to like post memes about it. And then there was all these, and I was like, they marketed the shit out of an attempted assassination. Okay. Then you got little Mr. Cutie Cute Italian boy who tried to assassinate. Yeah. Luigi tried to assassinate or did assassinate the United Healthcare CEO.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They damn near making that into a Netflix movie already. Like,
it's funny that you say that because I wrote this. Everything you said, I
really?
said it in a long message, and
Read
I
it
have
to me,
written
'cause I
these.
can't read
You want to
this.
read it? Okay, I'll read it.
Yeah.
So I said to those still paying attention, New Orleans just experienced a terrorist attack. Las Vegas in front of Trump Tower faced another, because at the time the FBI was calling it a terrorist attack. Yet life rolls on with little more than passing outrage. Even an attempted assassination of Trump barely made a dent. People have become numb. Tragedy after tragedy is met with virtue signaling, while our leaders, who we entrusted to represent us, have shown nothing but incompetence.
Mm-hmm.
When some dismiss criticisms of our officials with, why plan for a terrorist attack on some random street? And this is what someone told me, and this person exists on the right. Houston, we have a problem. This narrow, one-track mindset reveals how deep the erosion of accountability has gone. We've traded in real leadership for excuses, and far too many have accepted it. This letter is for those of us who still see the bigger picture. Too many around us are caught in the abyss of complacency, trapped by the everyday grind, disconnected from the deeper issue. We've become passive, living reactively instead of shaping our world. And I was talking about my generation. We are the loud, expressive ones. We are the ones who are like, yeah, you're my elder, but what you're saying is wrong. So I'm going to challenge you on that respectfully, right? So we are the generation of expression. We've inherited a voice that our predecessors didn't fully use, and our successors haven't realized they'll need. So it's time for us to demand more than surface level fixes to challenge the status quo. And a lot of people like that. 35 people. Now I haven't posted on my Instagram much at all, but 34 people understood what I was saying. It made me wonder how we hadn't even talked.
Yeah.
You just said what I said. Now, of course,
I
I
had
said
not
it
read
in a
that.
different way, but nobody cares about death anymore.
Well, they care about it, but in a different way. Like
they care about it to virtue signal and benefit off of it.
Yeah. The reaction to how these things used to hit is different. And I feel like even going back to J6, maybe that was even like the litmus test of like, whoa, like something really serious happened here. And we literally turned it into a money-making machine. Like, look at this comment. David Harris bought a condo in Hawaii with assassination merch. I believe it.
Nuts, bro.
I believe it. I really do. And like, it's sad, y'all. It is so sad to me. And I'm starting and going back to Soonie talking about her uncle talking about the war. It's like my dad said the same thing. Like he's like, I'm starting to wonder, what did I go and risk my life for? Because he watched that interview that Candace did with the USS Liberty survivor who talked about all that stuff. If you guys haven't seen that episode of Candace, go check that out. That's an incredible. I was crying. I was crying listening to that guy talk. But it just makes you wonder, like, is anything we are seeing actually manufactured, or is it just organically happening? And I'm gonna go even as far as the Trump assassination. I'm gonna question if that was like, I'm gonna be one of those folks. I'm gonna question
Yeah.
if that was even 100%
Well,
real and not manufactured. And I'm not saying what side it was manufactured by or who did it or why. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, did some guy just randomly get lucky and get to climb up on a roof and
no.
shoot a possible future sitting president? And it was that
I
easy?
think they for certain thought he was going to be dead that day.
Yeah.
I don't think Trump was supposed to survive that. And now we are looking at. Did you guys see what Trump reposted on Truth?
Which post? Because he's just going
The Jeffrey
wild.
Sachs interview. Have you seen that?
No.
Do you know who Jeffrey Sachs is?
No.
So he's an economist, and he also does a lot of foreign policy strategy. He's a strategist. Yeah, I'm just gonna play this for you guys. Now, for someone like me, I was over here on fire. Like, what? Trump reposted this. Trump is reposting Jeffrey Sachs. Jeffrey Sachs is a loud and proud. I don't want to call him an anti-Zionist, but he is very much so critical of the state of Israel. And he goes back all the way to World War I, World War II. And I watch most of everything he puts out, but I hadn't seen this. And someone tagged me and they said, "Did you know Trump posted this?" And I was like, "Trump posted what?" I'm just going to play this video for you. Okay. I was tripping. I was in here like, Trump may have restored my hope. If this is how you're tripping, watch this.
Okay.
Now look. Trump posts a video of Jeffrey Sachs condemning Netanyahu for dragging the U.S. into endless foreign wars. Check this out. Now, just so everybody can see, you guys saw Donald Trump. You see that, right? That's his social media, and this is what he retweeted.
The war in Syria, and you may actually hear from grown-up reporters who are lying through their teeth or ignorant beyond imagining that, oh, the war in Syria, yes, Russia intervened in Syria. Well, do you know that that Obama tasked the CIA to overthrow the Syrian government starting 4 years before Russia intervened? What kind of nonsense is that? And how many times did the New York Times report on Operation Timber Sycamore, which was the presidential order to the CIA to overthrow Bashar al-Assad? 3 times in 10 years. This is not democracy. This is a game. And it's a game of narrative. Why did the U.S. invade Iraq in 2003? Well, first of all, it was completely phony pretenses. It wasn't, oh, we were so wrong, they didn't have weapons of mass destruction. They actually did focus groups in the fall of 2002 to find out what would sell that war to the American people. Abe Schultzky, if you want to know the name of the PR genius.
God.
Focus groups on the war. They wanted the war all the time. They had to figure out how to sell the war to the American people, how to scare the shit out of the American people. It was a phony war. Where did that war come from? You know what? It's quite surprising. That war came from Netanyahu, actually. You know that? It's weird. And the way it is...
He reposted that?
Had from 1995 onward the theory that the only way we're going to get rid of Hamas and Hezbollah is by toppling the governments that support them. That's Iraq, Syria, and Iran. And the guy's nothing if not obsessive. And he's still trying to get us to fight Iran this day, this week. He's a deep, dark son of a bitch, sorry to tell you, because he's gotten us into endless wars, and because of the power of all of this in the U.S. politics, he's gotten his way. But that war was totally phony. So what is this democracy versus dictatorship? Come on. These are not even sensible terms.
You see what I mean? This is why I'm so freaking confused. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. Like, Trump will repost this, but then he'll be like, I just want to congratulate the Speaker of the House, whatever the fuck his name is, the guy that gives all the fucking money to everybody, including the NGOs that are like bringing babies over the border to traffic them. It's given more than anybody in history. Okay. And then he's like, I'm just excited. And then I'm asking people, like, why is he excited about this fool being the speaker?
Yep.
Well, because then somebody's like, well, because he's got to have him in place to get done what he needs to get done. Trump knows. See, I'm like, don't give me this 5D chess answer. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. So I'm lost, Soonie. I mean, that's crazy that he reposted it, but see, I'm more confused now
So
than
you're
ever.
lost on it. So
I'm lost.
just to give you, let me see if I can find it. There is a video of Bibi Netanyahu.
I've seen that video. I know which one you're talking about.
Of him testifying in front of Congress, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. And he says, so what Jeffrey Sachs is talking about is the intel. The Mossad is how we gain majority of our intel as well as other agencies, right? But the Mossad is how we gain our intel. The Mossad, as well as Bibi Netanyahu for decades, okay, have openly discussed how they have control of American politics, how they have influence in our politics. And whatever they want us to drag us in, they'll drag us in. He's openly said this. He's talked about screwing up the Oslo Accords and how he decided to label these Gazan areas, Palestinian areas, as military, as ways for him to take it over. So they blame Hamas, women and children being used as human shields. So this goes all the way back to then. And he's saying, you have dragged us into all these wars. Most of these wars that we've fought have been for the American interest, not because we're actually battling some existential threat. Like he said, of big bad terrorists. How many people are going to come attack America unless you're a sleeper cell and you somehow slip through the cracks?
Yeah.
On American soil. The last big attack we had was 9/11, and we all know that we believe as Americans that was an inside job, because how do you just sneak into this country and gain all this intel? And the FBI is watching you. We have the Mossad watching. We have CIA. After all this stuff comes out, we find out that they've been watching these people. They've been tailing these people and doing all sorts of surveillance. But ultimately, we're having our greatest ally constantly drag us into shit that has nothing to do with us. Nothing. We went to war in Iraq for nothing.
Right. And people believed, don't worry, we're going to limit the amount of ounces you can bring on a plane and have everybody take off their shoes at security, and we're safe. And people bought that hook, line, and sinker, and to this day, they're still doing it. Same thing with the freaking masks.
This is the military industrial complex. It's a global entity that I had mentioned to you before. It's not something that we're going to fight at home. It's not. You need to get people in office that are going to be absolute savages and not give a fuck. Okay? I hope he's playing politics. He gets in there and blows it the F up.
Yeah.
That's what I hope he does.
Yeah.
When he shared that, I was like, bro, you know what this means? You know what you just did? You know who you just galvanized? All these people who already have an issue with Israel, they're watching what he's posting.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how he's going to govern. I feel like he'll be super moderate, but maybe he might take it to Bibi. Who knows? I don't know.
And the thing is, he's got one term, 4 years to get it done.
Get it done.
And there, unfortunately, is a lot for him to get done. He's got a lot of mess to fix. Okay. I want to tell you people, okay, all you lefties that watch us that are thinking about coming in any one of our inboxes once Trump actually is in office, because by the way, some of you guys don't actually realize how it works, that just because he was elected president doesn't mean he actually is in office, and he's not in control right now. It's still Biden. Okay. That Biden is going to hand us probably one of the worst recessions in history. Okay. The markets are going to suck for a long time. And that is so those of you guys that are going to be like, oh, see this, Trump didn't fix the economy. It wasn't Trump. Okay. It wasn't, I'm not going to say it wasn't Trump. Okay. Because a lot of people that are behind Trump have a lot to do with why this is, our speaker
Right.
included. Okay. So
Right.
people who are on our side are definitely responsible for the way the economy is. It's not just the Democrats. Okay.
Mhm.
But he's going to have a lot of stuff to do, and it'll be interesting to see how he prioritizes things when he gets in there.
Well, look, Netanyahu, and I saw this earlier, he is no longer coming to Trump's inauguration. Decided he wasn't going to come anymore.
Well, neither is Big Mike, but who cares about that?
it's a to me, it's just optics. It says something optically.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm right about all of this, then the house of cards falls. And I think the house of cards with influencers fall because people are going to be like, you lied. Like you were saying this, you were saying this, but this is what this, and this was. Because I personally think Candace is going to grow bigger, especially with how she's not letting up on the whole Israel thing, and she's pregnant. So we're going to see Candace go absolutely mad.
Ape shit.
Okay. She's already starting. I don't know if you guys saw her video the other day. She brought another bombshell on. I was like, oh boy. Yeah. We're about to have video after video after video.
Yeah.
And I got to talk to you about something off camera, but there's things that I heard that happened at the influencer event back before Christmas. Not the whole fight thing. That's funny.
No,
but
you're talking about the
America Fest.
USA, American Fest, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the conversations that were had in the room with the influencers is what I want to talk to you about.
Why are you waiting so long to talk to me about this?
Because we've been busy. Like, I've been busy, you've been busy, I've been moving, trying to get back into it. Like, we haven't been able to sit down and talk like that. I'm going to tell you, though, because I think it might change your perspective a bit on all this. It made me laugh and it made me smile. I thought it was pretty funny.
Is it juicy?
It is juicy.
Oh, damn.
It is. It's super juicy. I hope you guys are learning something from this tonight. I'm giving you my raw thoughts. I don't get on here and say this because people might feel like they're getting blackpilled, but I am not a supporter of Israel. I don't think that they're a good ally. That does not make me anti-American. I don't support the war that's going over there in Gaza. I think this is all to expand into other regions, which would expand their control, which goes towards globalism, which is something that I'm 1000% against. And if Trump shows me hints of being a globalist, and he kind of has by trying to purchase Greenland, talking about making Canada 51st state, then that will be the day that I cease to do content because I will have nothing else to say. At least that people hear.
I am 100% pro-America. Okay. I am not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I'm pro-Israel. They suck your dick all the day. No, I don't. Okay. I don't really care. I'm not pro anybody that is not the United States. And my position on this war is you need to get rid of the people that are funding these terrorists in these countries, right? And I say we do it Sodom and Gomorrah style and just say, hey, you got 24 hours to get the fuck out of there because we're gonna level this fucking place and we need to just do it. Okay. And let me just tell you, and I know you're like, but Mo, the kids, listen, I don't know about you. If you've been to the Middle East, I've been, okay, and the kids are they're not the kids that you guys are used to seeing. Okay. They're not the kids that you are used to seeing. I'm not saying all of them are like this, but these kids are advanced. In fact, if you go anywhere outside of the United States, most children are very advanced. When we had Oscar on, he even said, these kids that live in Mexico and Panama and blah, 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 they're used to a different type of life. These kids are rough. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we just need to hit them up Sodom and Gomorrah style and get rid of the freaking problem and stop digging around. If we're really interested in solving the problem and keeping our interests of America and everybody else can benefit from that as well, then just turn it into a sandlot for all I care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about the animals. I don't care about the children. I don't care about the people that are nice. I don't care who voted for what. They're harboring terrorists. Let's just, if this is what it's really about, then let's just be about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She said Newcomb.
Yeah.
That's what B. Tatum said. I mean, I understand the sentiment. I do.
Yeah.
I just.
Did you see Lex Friedman's interview with Zelensky?
No, I didn't even know they did an interview. Really?
Bitch. Okay.
You watch it?
Oh yeah, you need to watch it. Okay.
I didn't watch it.
Hold up. Let me just show you like some little clips really quick.
Nobody's even talking about that. What in the world?
Exactly. Okay, so let's see. Let's play Who Controls Zelensky. This is like a little short. Let's just see what it says. I haven't watched this.
Okay. We have no sound.
All right, let's get back to a serious question.
Okay,
Sometimes they say it in America, this question of who is really in power. So let me ask, is someone controlling you? For example, oligarchs, American politicians, Yermak. I wanted to bring this up because I have been here in Ukraine twice since the invasion of 2022. One of the things I've learned is that actually nobody controls you. And this is one of your strengths as a president, as a person, that oligarchs and other rich and powerful people like that cannot control you. Can you explain why that is, how you see it?
I think, and it is indeed true, that I'm generally difficult to deal with. I am an ambitious person. I can't submit to anyone. I can live by rules, by laws. I believe that this is the only thing that can control any person today. These are the rules and laws of the society or state where you live. And I believe that this is the most important thing. There's no person who could control me. As I once told President Trump, when we had a meeting, by the way, journalists asked if Trump influenced me during the phone call. I told the journalist the truth then. Who can influence me? Only my boy, my son. This is a fact. When he calls asking for something, well, then I lift up my arms. Yes. And I cannot do anything about it because children are children. I have so little time with them. And therefore, when there are these moments, they are precious and important to me. I am ready to do anything. Also, probably my parents, they are an authority for me. Beyond that, I view it more as a system. No one can control the president. Therefore, we have oligarchs who either fled or are in prison because oligarchs usually control cash flows and people and influence politics. And we have concrete examples with sentences. They are not just under house arrest. Not just that, there are some judgments under which their assets were frozen or sanctions were imposed. There are specific people who are behind bars. I think this is the answer regarding the influence. Would they like to influence me in the same way as any president of Ukraine? Because finance and cash flows always influence politics. Well, at least they want to do this. This is regarding the influence. And other people on the vertical, they perform tasks as my managers. Andriy, you mentioned, is one of those managers. Well, I am glad that I have such people. Well, probably there is nothing else to add here.
I will just say that your team that I spoke with is an excellent team, excellent people.
Thank you.
Anyways. It is a almost 3-hour interview.
So I think we just heard him say he controls America, in a sense, maybe because of all the corruption that was going on over there.
Mhm.
But how does that look under Trump? Because Trump says that they will make sure that Ukraine has what it needs, right?
Right.
But I thought the foreign spending was going to stop. Like, why do we continue to give them? You kind of ask yourself the same thing about the same questions you ask about Israel.
Yeah.
Why are you continuing to pay these people for what?
Mm-hmm.
Like what is it?
Right.
And he just talked about locking people up. People that are able to generate money and have power and influence. Some of them are locked up. Some of them are here. Some of them are there. So are you
Mhm.
saying that you take out your political opposition? Like, what are you saying, bro? What are you
Wow.
saying?
That is a very tiny snippet of a very interesting interview. Now, yes, Lex is Russian, and Putin speaks Russian, but he declined to give this interview in Russian, the language that Lex speaks. In fact, they conducted the interview in 3 different languages. So they moved between Russian, Ukrainian, and English. Now, the voices that you heard were a special AI generated translator that you like. When I was listening to it, I was like, oh, that sounds like Lex. Is that what Zelensky's voice sounds like? And yes, it's designed to
Oh, they
mimic their
just
voice.
cloned it.
They cloned it, right? So you could hear it in their voice. But it was a crazy, like, I want you to watch it, Soonie, because I need your input. I feel like you're
Yeah.
going to make so much content out of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, what nothing seems to be what it is. So
No.
if we can all agree that Biden absolutely has dealings going on there and they've been covering this up, and we know that they fired a prosecutor because of Biden. He
Yeah.
admits that they did. They took billions in guaranteed loans for doing this. So that makes you wonder, well, what are you doing over in Ukraine? What are you hiding? And how do you both serve each other's interest at that point?
That's the key word. Serving each other's interests. Yeah.
You have to figure that out. I'm going to watch that. That's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty
It's
interesting.
captivating.
Right now, I'm researching Weimar, the Weimar Republic.
What's that?
It's like this place that democracy once existed, but not in not in the democracy that we have. Degeneracy takes over, and this civilization kind of just collapses within itself.
Oh,
And
wow.
they're finding, you know how you can parallel French Revolution with like what people are doing today? Well, you can parallel America
Weimar.
today to the Weimar Republic.
I've heard of Weimar before. I just didn't know about it. What got you interested in that?
So D, he said, please do a rabbit, go down the rabbit hole with this, because we'll share books with each other, we'll share research with each other, and kind of go down rabbit holes.
Mm-hmm.
And he challenges like me in ways that nobody else does, because then he'll force me to like question my whole reality on a thought. Unless I could find a way to counter what he says, I'm like, dang, bro, he's right. And he usually brings these crazy theories up. And we go down rabbit holes, and sometimes we'll bring them to alive. So I don't know if you've been watching, people have been watching my TikToks. I'm talking about Blue MAGA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I called you Blue MAGA? Of course, we're being playful for the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there is a such thing as Blue MAGA, because there are Democrats that transitioned over to Republican, but they still have the same social ideology, which is Marxism. Elon Musk,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is Marxism, right? Cultural Marxism at its core.
Mm-hmm.
And they're coming over and meshing with us. So we'll discuss things like that and say, well, you're a Democrat, really, but you just like Trump's policy. Because they'll come on and push back on you and be like, "You're not conservative. Like conservatives don't talk like that. You're far right."
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, "Well, what makes me far right?" Well, tradition is set for you, but tradition for us is evolving. So,
Right.
as somebody who called themselves conservative said this, tradition doesn't mean what it meant 50 years ago. I'm like, excuse me, that's like saying woman doesn't mean what woman meant 50 years ago. Like you're forming the same arguments, but you're doing it here. And you're starting to see a lot of Trump supporters come out with this ideology. So I went and studied something offline. I can apply it to what we talk about now. And it's boring. It's wordy. People don't want to hear you like analyze.
No, I like hearing you summarize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's fun. So that's what I'm doing with the Weimar Republic, because it does so closely resemble a moral decline and what happens when a country has that massive of a moral decline. And these are the same things we're experiencing. Like the first transgender hospital that was in the Weimar Republic.
Really?
All these things. Yes. A lot of the LGBTQ stuff that we're fighting today existed in this region, or I mean, in this republic.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Sodom and Gomorrah. That's the whole reason why they burned that joker down. Okay. God said, y'all men up in these huts getting your back blown out.
They're progressives in conservative clothing. Yeah, there's a lot of progressives on the right now, bro. There's a lot of progressives over here.
And my question is, why don't we go and do that on the other side?
Because this is, I don't know.
Because we're too obvious.
No, I think I can only speak anecdotally. Like, I don't feel like I think like a lot of people. I wouldn't be able to do it because I feel like there's like a massive gap in morality between both of us. So you would never accept me.
Yeah.
And I would never accept you because I deem you immoral and you deem me a bigot. So they can probably look past me being a bigot if I say, fine, you want to get married? All right, whatever. They can look past that. But if I stay firm and say, no, I'm not going to look past that, and I don't believe that, that's when you become, that's like a threat to people again.
Right.
It's kind of fun though.
Yeah.
Keeps you on your toes.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
This is kind of off topic, but along the same line. So I saw a headline today that Donald Trump says he's creating external revenue service to collect money for tariffs. So it says the term external revenue service is trending after President-elect Donald Trump shares that he wants to create a way to collect tariffs and other revenue from foreign countries, comparing it to the Internal Revenue Service as we know it, the IRS, that collects taxes from Americans. Okay. On Truth Social, Trump wrote, "For far too long, we have relied on taxing our great people using the IRS. Through soft and pathetically weak trade agreements, the American economy has delivered growth and prosperity to the world while taxing ourselves," Trump said. Trump wants to ramp up tariffs on goods from Canada, Mexico, and China. If you recall, he previously said he would enact tariffs of 25% on all Canadian Mexican goods. In addition, he will add another 10% tariffs to all Chinese goods through an executive order on his first day in office. Critics argue that these tariffs could increase costs for American consumers. Okay. What do you think about this? Like, because people are like, I'm all for the tariffs, okay? But I'm kind of confused how you're going to create an external revenue service to collect money from other people that are doing us dirty, okay? So now are we saying that what Luigi did to the United Healthcare person in the street was a good thing? Like, is that kind of how they're going to release Luigi's out into the street? I don't understand. Like, what are you talking about? Is it going to be like the mob?
I don't know. I need to read up on that.
Trump's gonna have he's gonna have goons shaking people down. What you got on my tariff, cuz?
That's great. I'm telling you, sometimes Trump, it scares the crap out of me. And then sometimes I'm like with
Right.
that video, I'm like, okay. So if you understand this, then maybe there's something that I don't see. I'm a citizen, you know. I'm not in the room with these people. I get
Right.
to know history and then judge what they're doing in the moment. I'm never in the room there, so it maybe I don't have the foresight that he has, but I think I have something that closely resembles it because we all know about Agenda 2030 and we've all been aware of that for
Right.
decades, very long time. They've been talking about things like this for a long time. We've had Alex. How long has Alex Jones been doing InfoWars? Well, InfoWars is gone now, guys. It's just the
Right.
Alex Jones show, but
Right.
InfoWars has been on. I was a
Steve
teenager. Bro.
Bannon.
Steve
Yeah.
Bannon. Like all
Oh, and
these shows.
Steve Bannon said he wants to keep Elon Musk out of the White House, and he'll do whatever it takes to make it happen.
It just, you know what? What this whole Zuckerberg thing? We talked about this. This whole Zuckerberg thing.
I don't trust it.
Why are we okay with social media companies cozying up to the government now that Trump's in office?
Right.
Like people had a problem with the fact that the government was so heavily involved in Facebook because of the censorship that we experienced on COVID and any other topic like racial issues, all that. But now they're like, yeah, Elon Musk with the president, Zuckerberg with the president, TikTok, you got to go. I'm like, y'all are okay with technocrats now? Because that's exactly what Elon Musk is. That's exactly what a Zuckerberg would
the tech bros
resemble. We already know what Elon Musk has in store for the future. He wants a transhumanism agenda to play out. He's coming up with a Neuralink that's literally attaching AI to humans, which is crazy to me. Crazy to me. Talking about replacing people. He's building these robots. Have you guys seen the Tesla robots?
Yeah.
All these things. I'm just saying, Mo. Like, listen, bro. You've been paying attention just as much as I have. All these things 8 years ago used to be a major threat to this country. When we talked about robots existing and overtaking, that was a bad thing, and you shouldn't invite that.
Yeah.
Now people are okay with it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like with everything else that we've slowly accepted in, like you always say, like they just inch it in until next thing you know.
But that's 8 years. I could see if it's been like a decade and you not even a decade, multiple decades, and you successfully subvert a population or a demographic. But to do it in 8 and have people allow fucking vehicles to drive for them.
Well, but I think that that's like the power of social media and like how quickly you can just infiltrate the mind, like in such a, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that that's what social media was the vehicle that allowed that to happen as quick as it did. But yeah, like it's crazy and you guys may not have watched this, but Soonie had turned me on to this show called Landman. That's about like the oil fields, right? Out in Texas where I'm at. And that show is an excellent show. If you guys have Paramount Plus and can watch it, or you have a Fire Stick, definitely watch that show. But I was literally thinking that scene where he's like out in the field talking to that lawyer about the windmills, and he just starts telling her everything that involves oil and the business of oil, and how those windmills are actually powering the oil machine. I was literally sitting here thinking, we are the biggest. It's no wonder they can give us the okie doke the way they do, because we're so fucking dumb. We're so dumb. And then I'm like watching like that Tesla car that pulled up to the hotel and blew up, and then come to find out, oh, Tesla has access to what happens around that car all the time. Don't matter if you got a Tesla car with a camera that is all over the car, guess what? Tesla has the ownership to that footage. So now you're telling me that this dude went through all this And it wasn't until after the fact that he blew up whatever he blew up. And then they found all this footage. And they knew this dude was like on some watch list because supposedly he was like rogue from the military. Come on, man.
It's crazy.
Come on.
All I'm gonna say is, I told you guys. Okay.
Michael Jackson said it.
When I don't even know why I stopped debating this. I used to debate how the Green New Deal was just another way to tax Americans, because that's all it is.
Mhm.
They're saying, hey, look, the oil companies, what they're doing is bad, right? They're fracking, they're doing all these things. So what we have to do in order to make this oil good is we got to put it into this like fake invention of cleaning it, right?
Mhm.
And we're just going to put a bunch of wind turbines up. We're going to do this here, right? And we'll be able to clean it. And then you can buy it back from us after we clean it. And then
Yeah.
I'm going to double tax you on this shit.
She said it's clean, sustainable energy. He said it's alternative energy. It's what it is.
Dude, it's nuts. They're telling you like, hey, this doesn't work the way I think it should work. So let me have it. I'll fix it for you. And then I'll give it back to you. But I'm going to have to charge you for my work.
Right.
Like, I thought you were doing it to help. Like, why are you charging me for this?
Right.
What's happening?
You know what else is wild? Like, I started to look up the statistics of how many people die per year doing that job just in Midland, Texas. And it's almost half of the people that are in that industry. Like, they have like out of 100,000 workers, half of those people, I think it was like 43.5% of them die or suffer some like debilitating accident. Like, nobody's talking about that, like when you're and I'm sorry, but you people that are like, oh, I drink Starbucks out of a paper straw, like even that involves oil, people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
your organic lip balm involves oil, okay? And there are literally people dying to bring it to you because, like he said, we're gonna run out.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna run out, and even the freaking Teslas and the Cybertrucks and all the other vehicles that are going electric, all those things require oil.
Yeah.
So you ain't doing nothing for the freaking environment by driving one of those ugly ass cars.
I don't believe we'll run out of it. The earth will always replenish, but it's going to get to a point of it's not going to be able to replenish fast enough for what we're putting out.
Hence why they got to do major things to control the population, okay? Because if you don't know, they got to reduce the population. And don't think for a second these fires in California ain't part of that. Don't think the stuff going on in North Carolina and Florida ain't part of that. They got to reduce the number of people here. But it's funny because they're bringing them in from other countries.
Are you black-pilled?
Oh, I'm fed up. I'm tired.
Is Mo black-pilled?
Oh, look at this. Okay, here, if y'all didn't see, let me show you the video that they got of this damn Cybertruck fool. Look at this.
See that he opens the vehicle, he retrieves a coat, he puts that coat on, and you're going to see that at different parts to include the photo that the sheriff talked about. We use this video information as well as what I said earlier about the financial records in terms of purchases being made with different credit cards, call data records, a video canvas at multiple locations, trying to use all of that to corroborate that the individual that we've identified is the same individual that drove that Tesla during that route that we've identified. Please keep in mind, this is a very extensive investigation, so there's a lot of content for us to review and examine. We're just showing examples and samples as we get them. There's more information as we go through.
Let me pause it real quick.
In this video, you
listen, bro. I feel like I just watched Minority Report. Not Minority Report. The movie with Denzel Washington and what's her name? Robin Thicke's ex-wife.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Is it Deja Vu?
What, watching this?
No, the technology that they were using to
solve
the murder.
Yeah.
Is that Deja Vu?
Yes, all of this is deja vu. Listen, I watch stuff and I'm like, wait, didn't we really go through this?
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. To me, what they're showing is how they can capture thing in real time and then be able to tap in it whenever they need
Yes,
to. Like you just
exactly.
said.
Yes.
That reminds me of the movie Deja Vu,
okay.
where
Deja vu.
he
Okay.
he would go back earlier in the day, find things
Yeah.
in order to figure out how to save the person. That not that that's what's going to happen, but the fact
Yeah.
that they have all this footage of him throughout the day at different points of the day, whenever they wanted. Now,
Yeah.
this would be my question. When did you guys see him load the explosives in the car?
Right. If it's recording you all the time for no reason at all.
Right. When did he unalive himself?
I don't know, but weren't they supposedly, wasn't he like on some type of watch list, they said? Like
Yeah,
he
according
said
to
that,
the
yes, according to the email, he said they were watching him.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that video that you just showed me, because that's him, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have all these angles of this dude. This looks like it's in a parking lot.
It's at a Tesla charging station.
Okay.
Yeah, see, he's at the Tesla charging
Oh my
station.
God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is like surveil. Look, the background is fitting now.
Yeah. And y'all jumping off TikTok because it may be privacy. Look at this shit. Driving around in your
That's what
Tesla
I
and things
said.
are.
We have to get rid of it.
Yep.
Yo, that is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a
Crazy.
charging station, though, is it? That's just a
Well,
random parking lot with cars.
Well, yeah, like right there. So I think right there is like maybe whatever cameras in that parking lot.
Yeah, the fact that they were able to grab that
Mm-hmm.
is. If the FBI wanted to find out where you or I were
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes ago or an hour ago or 2 days ago, they would be able to pull footage of all of us.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Somebody said in the comment, so let me get this straight. He's cleaning up the floor, wiping the dust away from the side of the car only to blow it up later. That's odd.
He did. I don't believe he unalived himself.
Yeah, I don't believe so either.
Not at all. I think he knew something. He was about to blow the lid off of something, and they said, "No, you're not."
Mm-hmm.
And they killed that dude. That's
Yeah.
really what I think.
Which is why he sent that letter ahead of time, because he already knew. That's what I'm saying. Dude, it's weird. But again, that's dropped off the face of the earth, just like the whole Kamala investigation into her background. Hello, Candace. Why did you just because Trump got elected? I still want to know how that story ends.
Candace said, "Okay, I'm done. I'm done."
Mm-hmm.
So somebody in the chat said, I guess Kamala she was given faces. She was serving face at the funeral when she saw Obama and Trump talking. Look at her, man. Her neck bothers me.
I know, it's terrible.
Look at her. She doesn't even look happy to be there. Look at her.
Look at Melania. She's shooting dagger eyes, man. She's like, y'all try to shoot my man.
Why does she look at her chin, bro? Why does she do that?
Dude, and
Why not just look down?
Doug's like, what day is my contract up? Because I'm sick of this bitch.
Look at her, bro. She looks like my Aunt Tony. Watch. This is where she turned around. Look. You see her mouth.
Yeah. She was
She
mad.
said.
But look at Melania right there. Look at Melania right there. Okay, now stop looking at Kamala. Play it again, and everybody look at Melania. Just pay attention to her, because she I love her looks.
Oh, she is looking at her.
She's the only one that actually looks like she's in mourning for poor Jimmy
Yeah,
Carter.
she looks sad.
She looks sad. Like she ain't like her hair.
Look at
Dang.
Kamala's neck, bro. Just look at all the one. Just I'm gonna count all the folds. 1, 2,
Mhm.
3, 4. Why does she have so much skin on her neck?
And you know what else is you can tell after they, she lost the election, her
Yeah.
glam team left her. Okay. The people that were dressing her left her, and she's back to looking terrible.
Bonnie-
I mean, maybe right here her hair looks cute, like it's like a fresh blowout.
Yeah.
But other than this, she's back to looking like a bum.
So dang, I didn't realize we've been up here for 2 hours. This is actually fun.
It was fun.
We haven't talked about
the announcement.
One more topic. We haven't talked about the suspect. Not the suspect, but the terrorist attack.
Oh,
Did you see the response from did you watch the press conference at all?
I watched like pieces of it. I didn't watch the full thing.
Okay, so this is the police chief that you're looking at here at this podium. And she was asked specifically to speak to why the barriers had not been fixed or why they were not up. And her response just sent me through the roof. So I want you to watch this video and give me I want your opinion on this. I just watched the press conference that happened in New Orleans regarding this terrorist attack that happened there. And I want you guys to look at this.
In parts of the French Quarter, specifically in parts of Bourbon Street, there are bollards. We're hearing that some of those may have been down because of repairs. Can you speak to that? And maybe was there any backup option of putting a truck there or an elite car there?
So we have been aware of the bollard situation for a long time. And we did indeed harden those target areas where the bollards are. We have patrol cars out there as a hard target, as well as with barriers. Now, I want to share with y'all, if you did not know, that this particular terrorist drove around onto the sidewalk and got around the hard target, where he did have a car there, we had barriers there, we had officers there, and they still got around. Now, the wedges that you see out there as well, we knew that had malfunction problems. And I want you to understand, let's say we put the wedge up and it got stuck. There is no way that ambulances could get in or out, people couldn't get in and out, so we knew that these were malfunction. So we did indeed have a plan, but the terrorist defeated it.
A plan?
I just watched the press conference.
So they knew?
New Orleans regarding this terrorist. So look, we had a plan for this, if something like this happened. And our plan to deter someone from potentially doing this was to park a police car. Okay? One police car, park it there, and that's going to deter someone from coming in. But the terrorists just outsmarted us. I'm like, dog.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Chief.
What'd you say?
This is a police chief.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm gonna file this police chief under DEI too, because look at her, she's old as hell. It is though, right?
Yeah, she's too old to be doing that position. Clearly,
right?
None of those politicians had any answers for those people. None of them. No. They were trying to ask, and the only thing they kept talking about was the Sugar Bowl. Half of the interview was them evading questions. Half of it. It was so sad.
So
and then after
where are we at now with this? Nowhere.
So the only thing that we know, and this is January 5th, is that the FBI has put together a timeline, and they released the timeline of the suspect. Shamsa, listen, his name is Jabbar. I'm not even about to do that. Okay.
Right. He from Texas.
14 people were unalived. Rest in peace to those people. And 35 people were injured. During a press conference, the FBI's Duty Assistant Director for the Counterterrorism Division, Christopher Rea, noted that while the investigation into the attack is in its early stages, investigators believe that the suspect, who resided in Texas, had proclaimed his support for a terrorist group, ISIS, in social media posts ahead of the truck attack. So apparently they have found some information on his social media. Now, I was not able to find his social media. It seems to me that they took it down immediately, which is odd because what was he posting on that social media? And they also don't give you examples of what he said. They just said they read his post social media.
Right.
Of course, he was a citizen. So this is their timeline. Jabbar traveled to Cairo, Egypt. He also went to Ontario in 2023 and then returned to the U.S. in July of 2023. Officials are working to determine who Jabbar might have met during his travels. I'll be out there in a minute.
Smells like crab.
Sorry. You heard him?
Yeah. He's like, it smells like crab. Like, what?
I did just eat crab. Did you want to say something?
Well, I wanted to show the video of Jabbar talking because I need you guys to understand. Yeah, let me show you guys the video of Jabbar talking because I don't know about you, but when I hear the name Jabbar and Egypt and all this other stuff, and then I even see this top picture, I'm like, oh, Jabbar, he got an accent. He's probably like real ethnic, right? Let's take a listen to Jabbar.
I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar, property manager with Blue Metal Properties and team lead at the Midas Group at Core Realty. I just want to say hello. Born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist and IT specialist, where I learned the meaning of great service and what.
So former military. That's probably how he went to Egypt.
It means to be responsive and take everything seriously, dotting I's and crossing T's to make sure that things go off without a hitch. So I've taken those skills and applied them to my career as a real estate agent, where I feel like what really sets me apart from other agents is my ability to be able to, one, be a fierce negotiator. So not only do I brilliantly market your property to make sure it gets sold as quickly as possible or gets leased as quickly as possible. Good evening. I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar.
So, like, what do you guys think? Like, the real estate business was a little slow, and he was like, "Let me just try this terrorist thing because, like, maybe I can, make an impression there."
I think this is people are probably going to get mad at me, but this is truly what I think.
He was radicalized.
I do.
Yeah,
I do, and I think we need to stop denying that our country
doesn't do
our
this.
government participates in things over in their nation that they don't necessarily appreciate, such as pushing democracy, because if they were to come here to try to push Sharia law, there would be an all-out fight. And because you're coming in to change our culture. Now, people will say, well, their culture is bad. Who are we to say that their culture is bad because they call our culture bad? So if these people are becoming radicalized and they're doing this, I think there's a deep dive into why. That doesn't going into why doesn't make that person right or justified. It gives you an understanding. People don't just do things.
Right. And him and the other guy, the other bomber, the Tesla truck guy, both from Fort Bragg, both went through Turo, which y'all better not fuck up Turo because I love Turo. Like, don't mess it up for me. Okay, I don't need Turo getting more regulations on how to rent a car. And then that was the same base that Ryan Routh, the guy that tried to assassinate Trump, visited 50 something times before he tried to assassinate Trump. So what the hell is going on?
I don't know. I don't know if they were stationed there together. That's a massive base.
What is Fort Bragg? They changed their name. It's like Fort Freedom now or some shit like that.
I didn't know they changed their name. What?
Yeah, I think they changed their name. Fort Bragg is no longer. It's
He's
something like that.
Nice with that accent. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't think ISIS. I think ISIS is a creation of America,
Mm-hmm.
and we pretend that they're the big bad boogeyman, but we use ISIS when it's necessary,
Mm-hmm.
and then demonize them when it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've done that with almost every terrorist organization that's ever been known to man,
Yeah,
all the way back to Al Qaeda.
I agree.
And these people know that. So, like I said, it doesn't justify what they're doing. I feel like I'm kind of doing what people do in instances of police unaliving a black man. You dive into their past, you look at their criminal record to say, okay, why would they have done this? What happened in their life? What happened that day for them to do this? And we have to do the same thing with these people. Don't just write it off as he's just terrorist.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I feel bad for my lack of outrage on that kid who decided to light himself on fire.
Which kid?
You remember that? The soldier?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
People just wrote him off
That's
and said that
crazy.
he was mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of those people, like, I don't think I called him crazy, but I just said anybody who's willing to do that, there's obviously something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't necessarily think that means he's crazy. I think maybe he witnessed something. Feels like my odds of reporting this are slim to none. I could be punished for this. So this is my way of going out.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? But to land on an opinion and kind of discount the whole thing and, you know, say that this is because of wokeness, this is because of DEI. And that's a lot of what I heard in the Senate, in the confirmation for Pete Hegseth,
Mm-hmm.
is they kept blaming everything on wokeness and DEI.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, how disrespectful to their service for you to blame it on this new thing that they're pushing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like transgenderism was not prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
Lesbians being open in the military, that wasn't really a thing. My husband's been in 13 years. It was not like that when he first got in. It didn't start to get that way until 2019, 2020. You start to see this shit in the libraries and everything. So I'm just sitting there thinking, like, how disrespectful. You send these men to go fight wars. You send them to go do these missions. You send them to go negotiate. Like, you're sending them out there in the field to do these missions, and they come back fucked up, or they see something and they're fucked up and they can't talk about it because you want to either silence them. And we can't pretend like our military doesn't do this. We seen it with the Vanessa Guillen story. That was a sad story, bro.
Yeah.
The way they handled that case was absolutely disgusting. So let's
and the
not
way they
pretend-
used her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend like there's not this wall of silence within the military. They have their own jurisdiction,
Mm-hmm.
their own legal system. So I think a lot of people are being short-sighted with how these people are responding. They're not just responding this way for no reason.
Yeah.
He lit himself on fire and screamed until I watched that video. Has anybody ever seen that video, Raw?
I did. It was terrible.
How do you not, like, internally touched when you see someone who's wearing an American military uniform saying, I can't do this, and he lights himself on? That's wokeness. That's DEI. Is it, man? Or are you scapegoating that shit?
Yeah.
That's how I be thinking.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all my subjects. So.
But hey, you know, the Cybertruck guy, thank God, even though his body was burned to a crisp and beyond recognition, his military ID did survive in almost intact shape, so that we could identify him.
Yeah. How convenient, right?
Doesn't that sound like 9/11? Remember passports on the sidewalk? Could burn up the steel of a.
Have happened. Stranger things have happened. What's up, Liddell?
Oh, dude, one day they're gonna dig these episodes out of the ground and they're gonna be like, these two called it. These two girls with 312 followers. It's crazy.
Thanks.
One day. Anyways, well, so are we done with the topics? Because I
Yeah,
wanted
that was the
to.
last one.
Okay. What's up, Liddell? So, you guys, we wanted to make an announcement, or I wanted to make an announcement to you guys. And it was kind of fitting to do it now, considering like everything that we've kind of talked about, so you can understand partly how I got to this decision. Part of it is something else that is not even related to social media, not related to anything, but like my personal goals and things like that with business that I want to try to accomplish, which I'm not going to talk about in detail because y'all are a bunch of viper pits and you'll use anything against me. But I am going to be stepping away from the show after the inauguration. So we'll do next week's show. And I think the inauguration's on the 20th, which is a Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to probably do a Monday show, or you want to talk about it after the fact? Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about it after, but most likely we'll end up doing something on Monday.
Okay, so we're going to do that show, and then after that, Mo is going to be done. And it's not anything bad between me and Soonie at all. It is just the fact, I think Soonie said it best, that this does not feed my soul anymore. I am exhausted. I am not passionate about this anymore like I was. And it's not that I'm not passionate, like in the sense that like I don't care about politics or anything like that. I just feel that not this show particularly, but this whole industry of talking politics and like we were talking earlier, just round and round in circles with no destination in sight. I feel like where am I putting my time and why am I putting it there? It would be different if Soonie and I had this huge platform, this huge following, and we were getting new people to the show, but it hasn't clicked. And it could be because I'm not in it and my heart's not in it. And so it's not clicking because y'all know Soonie's heart's in it. She be doing this without me on her own platform. So I know she's passionate about this and has, the thick skin for this. I'm not passionate about this. Now, that being said, doesn't mean that me and Soonie won't like pop in every now and then and do like a show, or I won't do something by myself. But if you guys follow me, you guys know like one day Mo will be talking about politics. The next day I'm talking about paint samples and I don't know what else, because I'm interested in a lot more things than politics. And sometimes I just get really girly and my shit's just my own personal page,
Yeah.
It's not a page that I'm building to be this like huge influencer, nor do I think I want to. Like I'm just seeing all these people in it. I'm like, I want to like stay loving the people that I love, and I don't want to take anything personal that I see them doing. So I just need to step away. Yeah. So that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Like she said, there's no like, when she told me, I kind of think you were nervous to say something.
I was. Did you feel like this was coming? Let me ask you this now. Did you feel, we listen and we don't judge. Did you be like, was there a part of you that was like, I could feel you feeling this way?
Yeah. I felt this a long time ago. I'm like, I'm just waiting for her to say something because I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not going to be like, I just noticed, like, you know me, I'm not that friend. If you're not going to shoot it straight with me, then I don't care to hear it.
Yeah.
But if you're like, hey, like she did, like, I've been thinking about this and the third. I'm like, oh, word? Like, yo, you should do that. What?
Yeah.
Like, you want to announce it? This? I kind of was like, I hope I didn't come off like,
no,
I'm rushing her away. But it was more like, dude, if this doesn't serve you, then there's no point in you doing it.
Right. Because then I'm wasting your time. And it's like, and by the way, PS guys, like I'll just leave this channel, like we'll leave it up and Soonie can use it and she can bring on another host, do whatever, like I'm gonna hand this all over to Soonie and she can have this. Okay. So, I think that it felt really good actually the way you responded to it, because like you didn't take it personal, which I didn't want you to do. Like it had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with that. It was all me inside. I have been anybody who knows me will tell you, like who sees me on a daily basis will tell you, this has been on my heart for at least a year. I just didn't know like what it was saying. You know what I mean? Like what my heart and what God was trying to tell me. But I kept praying and I was like, God, if this is what I'm meant to do, you're going to keep feeding me into this. And it just wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. So, and that's okay, because that's what I prayed for, was an answer, and I got it.
Yeah. This is
And
like
I'm
you
a
said,
faithful servant.
this is not meant. This is not made for people like Mo.
No. I'm
You
too nice.
you are. You
I am
are.
too nice.
And you think of, like I said, you think about life, like that curiosity is good, but that
Mhm.
curiosity shuts off when it gets too real. Like when we
Yeah.
start talking about stuff, you're like, I don't, whatever. We're not gonna think about that. Why can't we just go back? I always say
Yeah.
this all the time, like because like nothing goes back.
Yeah.
Time only goes forward. Like
Yeah.
we may be able to rewind a TV, but we can't rewind. You
Yeah.
can't. People get a taste of like freedom, and they're like, "Oh, so this is what it's like to bend the rules and say that morality is this, that, and the third." You think
Yeah.
they're gonna go back to like strict rules? Fuck
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's funny. It's funny that Cons brings this up is because of that one time with Tyler Bluntman.
What?
It wasn't about that one time, but it's people like Tyler that like get really mean that
Mhm.
I just don't like it. You know, like Soonie, she's got super thick skin for this, and like she'll get mean with them right back. Like you get like that with her, and she's gonna like nail you to the ground. I like at first I'm like, ha ha ha, we're just joking around here, and then it gets really
Yeah.
real, and then I'm just like, well, wait a minute, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And then I just like I'm like a little turtle. I'm like,
Go into a show.
yeah, I
Yeah.
go. It's not that I go into a shell, but then that's when I'm like, okay, I'm drawing a line here because you overstepped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like it was those were like moments after I prayed that were like happening that I was like, okay, that checked the box for this
Mhm.
may not be for me, right? It just kept checking boxes, checking boxes, checking boxes. And then I remember when you started like when Cash came back and he started doing a show, and you and Cash were doing some shows, and you were like, yeah, Cash like really wants me to like do some shows with him, and she's like, but I don't want to take time away from us. And I was like, oh my god, like maybe this is God's
Mhm.
way of being like, this could be where Soonie would be better served with somebody who loves to talk about this stuff,
Yeah.
and is very different from you still.
Yeah.
You know, like you and Cash have a lot of things in common, but you guys also disagree on some
We have
stuff as
major
well.
differences.
But exactly. So I was just like, okay. So y'all, prayer works. Prayer works. Okay. It may not happen in your time. It took me a year to make a decision.
No, in the trip, I don't. I listen. I don't know how I get up and just say, I want to go say this.
How you
And
do
then I'm
it.
gonna have a bunch of people slander me. And I sit there and laugh at it now. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I'll call her and be like, dude, somebody said this, that, and the third. There's a video here. I'll send it to her. And it's funny to me because I'm affecting you that much that you want to put hateful comments underneath the video, or like I'm affecting you that much that
Yeah.
you stitched a video to my video. To me, that's dope. Go out, please. To know that, like when Mitch told me that he talked about me over dinner,
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm in your head, I'm in your house, I'm at your dinner table. How many people can say that's their name because of politics is being talked about in people's households over a
Yeah.
dinner table? To me,
Yeah.
that's freaking dope. Okay. So let me keep doing this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep studying. I'm gonna keep coming up with fire takes. That's how I look at it. It's
Yeah.
invigorating. I like it. It's fun. Now there's times where I'm
Right.
like, I
And
feel
see, that's what I'm saying. See, like that invigorates you. Like if you told me, somebody who you don't know me, okay? Like if somebody in the comments right now, let's just say like Elizabeth, and she doesn't know me from Adam, and all she sees is this, and she's like, yeah, we were talking about you at my dinner table, and like I can't stop thinking about you, like I lost sleep over what you were saying. Like, so like that is a compliment, but for me, I'd be like, oh, okay. Like, seriously. And I know that this is stupid and very like weird to me, but like the stuff that brings me joy is making food for people. Like that's what makes me feel dope. Like I made something that you love. Like right now I'm researching what dessert I'm going to bring to a potluck on site. Like that's what brings me pure joy.
You know what?
And I know that that's too simple for some people.
It's not, because I do the same thing while listening to a book or researching. I can
Yeah.
sit there, like make pies, and I'll have a whole podcast going.
Yeah.
And the room, because me and my husband are politically involved,
Yeah.
don't get the family around. Everybody in the room is going to be talking about politics. So it's like I get away from it, but I don't get away from it because it's my life.
Yeah.
It's like this is something that I talk about my everyday life.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
get it.
worked. It works.
It just
I
goes to
think you
show.
changed me. That's what I think this was. I was just I
Rip
have to
that.
sit across from somebody whose feelings I have to consider in conversations. This is hard.
Right? You know what though? Like we were speaking a little bit about this earlier with a situation that I've been, in lately with something. But like I'm a unique individual, and I recognize that.
Mhm.
And you either love me or you hate me,
Mhm.
and you either love me for the right reasons or you hate me or love me for the right reasons. But I'm a very misunderstood person too. Like, and that's where I think you and I kind of actually like me is we're both very misunderstood people. And I
Mhm.
think that's the common ground that we had. I think people get this idea about me that I'm like, because I am very feminine and I am very girly, but
Yeah.
they think that I'm dumb. They think that I'm interested in the wrong things.
Mhm.
They think that things that should matter to somebody who maybe looks like me is what matters to me, and it doesn't. In all reality, regardless of what you see on the outside, I'm a very simple person.
Oh, well.
And as much as I love to talk on this show, I don't like a lot of talking. And I really value like having somebody like Soonie who can make a very clear-cut decision without examining 20 different angles. Like, I mean, she does examine, but she does that on her own time and then comes to me with like a valuable conversation and input. So like that's why it's always worked out between us, because it's been that way and we kind of like fill in the gaps for one another. So it's been really, really great to have like to do a show with somebody like that, because it's not easy to do a show, you guys. Like I've done these things before and people argue like cats and dogs. Hello, we were both on a show before and it was like hell.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
But I wasn't immature in that situation. I was upset and I wasn't vocalizing that. And I felt like I had to stick around because I did make a
commitment.
I made a promise to Cash. I was like, I'll stick around. I'll be here. But I couldn't do it anymore because I was growing.
Right.
I was meeting new people. I was doing content with new people. I just was like, me and this show, like we don't mesh. And Liddell called me. Everyone knows the story. He said, you are a big fish in a little pond. It's time for you to get into the ocean. Like you need to swim with these people. And I think I've been afraid of that. I think I have. I'm so used to having someone next to me.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I don't want to get online and do a show by myself, but I can do a show by myself. I do shows by myself every day on TikTok.
Yeah.
The only
now you do it
difference
all the time.
I'm interacting with someone, but I don't have to do an hour show. I can get on here for 30 minutes and say, hey, I think this, that, and the third, or like, I want to do a pop-up show about some like breaking news that's happening. I'm finding myself, I want a schedule, but I want to be able to just pop in, boom, say what I got to say, get off, do it that way. Long form content is good, but you can do long form content that's 35 minutes. You can do long form content that's 24 minutes and get off and be done. Because I'm needing more time now that I'm back in the States. I have to have more time for my family. You know, I've been in this room since 5 o'clock. I didn't give my children a kiss goodnight, and they're used to me doing that every day.
Yeah,
every day. So it works out for the both of us because I have things that, of course, I'm exploring. I have things that I'm doing. I have things that I want to do, and this frees up a bunch of space for me to do that.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, we should get online and talk about this show, and then you guys get to see us just pop up randomly about this show or something that's happened. That's fun.
Yeah.
But our focuses are different. If I want to, I'm in a place where I'm laser focused in on politics. You're like, I'm done. I want to talk about this show. Actually,
I'm tired.
I'm chilling.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. No, it's crazy. But you know, sometimes they say like things happen in seasons. And I think like you said, us doing the show together, you know, gave you whatever you needed to be able to like go on and realize that you didn't need somebody. And truth be told, if I were to continue doing YouTube, like going back to like how I used to do my YouTube, which was like, you know, I would do like 10-minute videos on YouTube and I would talk about all kinds of stuff. I didn't just talk about politics. I would talk about all kinds of stuff. If I were to go back to that, I would definitely go back to it. And people have always said to me, same thing as you don't really need anybody when you talk about stuff like that. Like I have tried doing like the interviews and like, because I like to ask people questions, but it's a lot of work, y'all. Like
it is.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not in it for that. Like, I'm not in it for that. And there's other things that I'm trying to do personally, professionally, that have nothing to do with this world that I need to put time into in order to make that happen. And also, just so you guys know, because I know y'all are messy, but you guys have through this year or two that we've been on. How long has it been? 2 years, 3 years? How long have we been doing this show? 2 years.
2 years.
You guys have donated to this channel. I just want you guys to know a while back, we actually split everything down the middle. And a lot of the stuff that you see that Soonie has now, that's what she did with her half of that money. So we did split everything that we had in our somewhere in the middle Venmo account between us. And, you know, and then that was before this even became a topic of conversation.
Yeah, it worked out perfect because I have a legit studio back here. Like, you guys can't see everything that's back here, but that's a big green screen. There's the big old light here in front of me. I have other big soft lights in the bag. I got a Mac here. There's like 4 screens back here. So this I used to do a show by myself called Hot Mic. And I would say everything that someone would say on a hot mic. That was the whole purpose of the show.
Yeah.
And I would get on there and just speak my mind. And at the time, you know, it was like heavily pro-Trump. But it's not heavily pro-Trump anymore. I don't have a favorable opinion on government at all. So what's gonna be my audience? That's what I'm more interested and excited to find out is who gravitates towards me now. Is it gonna still be the Republican audience? Or is it gonna be a bunch of lunatic libertarians and like more far-fetched people?
Why? Because the Trump tard is leaving the building or what? Like, because why?
No, because I just have very different perspectives and opinions than I did before Christmas.
Yeah.
A lot happened. And I don't think people realize that. A lot has happened. A lot has been exposed. And even with this war that we've been experiencing, we haven't even been experiencing it, but we're affected in our own country, which is nuts.
Yeah.
October 7th is being treated like 9/11. And it's been ongoing since then. So me being I don't even want to call myself anti-Israel, but me taking this perspective of like, I voted for Trump, I'm conservative, I'm a Christian, but nah. I'm not. I don't. I want to say what I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. But people know what I'm saying. If you know, you know. That's where I'm at with it now. Like,
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
Hey, maybe you should test Zuckerberg and see if he's ready to put his money where his mouth is and just create a show on Facebook that's called Anti-Israel.
You know what? I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something.
Oh.
I found this probably 6 months ago.
Melissa asked, "What platform do you prefer us to watch you on, Soonie?"
So I'm just going to go live from all of my platforms via OBS since I'm going to be doing these shows by myself. So I will be streamed to every single social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
You just won't be able to request to come up. It'll be me talking 20 minutes, 35 minutes, however long my rant is going to be, and then I'm getting off. So Soonie blanks everywhere. Just type that in.
On TikTok,
Even on TikTok, yeah. It's okay to be anti-Israel. Yeah, but that comes with implications. You have to be careful with what you say. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay if you don't have a platform. Yeah, it's okay.
You are reckless with your language.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this was, and I find it interesting that there was an update. So this is automatically what I thought of when I saw Zuckerberg cozying up to Trump, right? I said, oh God. He says no censorship, but Meta says that it will remove posts attacking Zionists, a term some use interchangeably with what? Jew. The company said it made the change in line with its longstanding policy banning attacks based on protected characteristics such as nationality, race, or religion. But they have not censored anything on anti-whiteness. I just, listen. You are trading one censorship for another.
Yeah. But
if you had a problem with them censoring you on COVID, then why would you not have a problem with them censoring you here? That's the first thing that pops in my mind because it seems like common sense, right?
Yeah.
But according to the Jerusalem Post, Jewish groups push Meta to crack down on hate speech. Now the company is reversing its course.
I mean, but he's Jewish, so why wouldn't he oblige?
I don't know. So 6 months ago, Jewish groups celebrated a policy win when Meta banned the use of Zionist as a coded slur. The article that I just read to you, right? Now the same organizations are condemning the company for dramatically loosening restrictions on speech across the social media platforms. It's mind-blowing how the most profitable companies in the world operating with such sophisticated technology is taking significant steps back in terms of addressing anti-Semitism, hate, misinformation, and protecting vulnerable and marginalized groups online. And this was a quote from the ADL's CEO. Okay. Now, I don't know what it necessarily walked back. I didn't see that Meta had come out and said, hey, we're reversing its course. So I have no clue what this dude is bitching about. Mm-hmm. But if Meta is really willing to censor you on that,
right?
What the hell else? They already censored you on COVID, bro. And just because he came out and said, oh, well, I made a mistake on that and Joe Biden pressured me. And we all said it. We already knew that you were being pressured by the government.
Right. You didn't have to do an interview to tell us that. We already knew this.
And we're supposed to believe that you're going to come and be impartial?
Right.
What? So it says Greenblatt was responding to Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg's announcement that the company would do away with its fact-checking program and broaden the terms of what can be said on Facebook and Instagram. It will also stop using automation to detect and remove hate speech, limiting its catching terrorism, child exploitation, and other offenses. So they're upset. They're saying this. He says this is a trade-off. It means that we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we may accidentally take down. This is how I feel about this, right? Why don't you just fucking hire employees instead of automating everything? Why
Well,
don't you do that?
this is what's funny. So I don't know if it says it in this article, but he said it in the interview. He was like, yeah, we're going to be doing away with like the committee that we had of people that like kind of made up all the rules. But don't worry, we're moving it to Texas.
God.
What? Are you getting rid of it or are you moving it to Texas? And PS, Texas is full of Indian people that came over on the H-1B.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dying. I am dying. Okay.
You're
And
dying,
people are like,
right?
yeah, he's on our side.
No, bro, we gonna be trying to call Facebook and Meta and be talking to Sanjay and Gupta.
Look at Elon. Elon, who was like, oh, I'm all for free speech. And then he's over there. Anybody who disagrees with him, account gone.
Yo, did you guys see that Thomas Massey was ousted as House Rules leader?
No, I love Thomas Massey.
You know who ousted him?
No, who?
Mike Johnson.
Oh, Jesus.
But you want to know why?
Because he's a threat.
Because he's been so loud and critical of him and
Thomas
Israel.
Massey don't play.
They've labeled this man an anti-Semite. I said,
he's the only one that has been as outspoken about Israel. Well, he is the only one. That's why.
Nobody else will do that. How many of you are going to be watching Marco Rubio's confirmation? I'm going to start getting online and covering these. I don't know. I have to look up the schedule. I'm not sitting here for 5 hours. I'm just telling y'all now. Let me see who's tomorrow.
Somebody say who's to somebody tell us. Somebody's got to know.
Let's see. Tomorrow's confirmation. Why is Google so hard? Here is the confirmation hearing schedule. So Pete Hegseth was today. Kristi Noem is tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm watching that because she's a Zionist. Anybody who's a Zionist, I'm watching it. Because I just want to know what we're in store for based on the questions that she's asked. Pam Bondi, I'm watching hers as well. She is pro red flag law, and also I think she is an anti First Amendment advocate.
Wait, she's serving as, or what was she nominated as?
Attorney General.
Oh, okay. So I was about to say the only person that doesn't have to be confirmed is the chief of staff.
Yeah, she'll have to appear twice. So she'll be on tomorrow at 9:30, and she'll also be back Thursday at 10:15. So I'll pop on with some of these and catch. I'll be watching it on my own, but at some point when I hear something that's absurd, I'm of course going to pop in here and we'll watch it together. But Marco Rubio, which is the most important one you want to watch. I am begging everyone. They're long, they're boring, they're tedious, but watch his. He's going to be set to appear in front of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. And this has to do with war. It has to do with war, and you should be prepared for it. And that is also going to be on tomorrow at 10 a.m. So you're going to see me here at 10 a.m. with Marco Rubio's big-headed ass behind me. And we're going to watch this.
Yeah.
And if I have to take notes or whatever I have to do back here to counter what he's saying, I'm going to do that because he scares the living shit out of me.
Yeah. These are important to watch. These are definitely important. And I just play them while I'm doing housework or doing whatever, paying bills.
Yeah.
Just play it in the background, y'all. Play it in the background.
I was explaining to my daughter why it was important for us to watch these. And she sat there and watched it with me for a bit. Excuse me. I'm not going to watch that bastard. See what I mean? Why are you calling a man a bastard?
He's gonna get confirmed regardless,
Yeah,
whether
he
you
is
watch
gonna
him or
get
not.
confirmed. Whatever, Marlene, and don't watch it. You're not going to be informed. Fine.
He wants you to give him the cliff notes.
I mean, I can do that. That would be fun, but do I really want to?
Oh man. All right. Well, my back is killing me. As you can tell, I'm shifting positions, trying to get comfortable. I have a heat patch on.
She's translation for I'm old and I can't sit down this long.
I can't. Well, it's been I haven't sat down here since our last show. But you guys, we will be providing details on the show for the inauguration because I think we should probably cover that like we've covered all the other major presidential events.
Yeah, we got to watch that day and see if some crazy shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it will?
Yeah. No.
No.
I think there will be a lot of people like saying there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, but there's too many very important people there. And it's too big of a stage for some bullshit to pop off. So if it's going to happen, it'll happen before, but
yeah,
I don't think so. There's too much heat around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. It could be rather uneventful. Am I over here like hoping for some shit to go off? Is that what I'm doing?
Well, I mean, I think that's why a lot of people are going to watch it. Hello. The coming previews have led you to this moment. Why wouldn't you watch it? It's like seeing a sign on the side of the road that says two-headed snake. You stop and you pull over and see if the two-headed snake.
True. That's true.
Okay, we are living in a movie. Remember?
Don't put on X-22 tonight. I can't have you that far gone.
Yo, I have tried to listen to X-22 a couple times, like when some real shit has happened, and I'm like, let me see what X-22 is saying.
Yeah.
Because I'm just interested. Every time I hear the guy say, we're on episode 3,100 and something, I'm like, when are people going to be like, wait a minute, we're on episode 3,000? And ain't a damn thing this fool has said come true? Do you realize how hypnotized we are? Mo was able to break out of the matrix because I stopped listening to X-22 because at first I was listening to X-22 and I was like doubling down because I was doing X-22 and Alex Jones. Okay.
So it was like know you back then.
It was like two like pipes in my ear constantly like Trump and the Patriots. Like,
oh, you would have hated me back then. I was a savage to those people. I was mean. I definitely was on purpose too, because that rhetoric was ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but there was a time like with Alex Jones where I was like, what? How is everything that Alex Jones said?
You know what? What if Alex Jones is an agent?
But okay, so work with me for a second right here, real quick.
Let's get off though. We can talk about this on the phone.
No, because I want to say this to the people because I want to leave you with this thought. Okay. So when I was listening to Alex Jones, I was like, it's wild to me that Alex Jones like literally is calling everything. Okay. And then when everybody was getting banned from Twitter, Alex Jones still wasn't banned from Twitter. And I was like, or whatever. Yeah, Twitter. It was Twitter. Alex Jones still wasn't banned for Twitter. It wasn't until Alex Jones said some shit about Sandy Hook that they were like, enough. Okay, you got to go. How dare you say that this didn't really happen? That's what the final straw was. And then I was like, oh, he working for somebody. He's like Lex Friedman in my mind. Like, watch the interview with Lex Friedman and Zelensky, but he's like the Vlad TV of politics, right? Mm-hmm. He was put there to put stuff in your psyche, in your thought process. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm right there with you. I think the most of what we take in is predictive programming.
Yeah.
We're just too stupid to realize it. I mean, think about it. Think about it. My friend Erica brought this up. We watch shows where people are tortured trying to get money. Like people are we're entertained by Hunger Games.
Yeah.
It went from a movie to TV shows that are realistic to Mr. Beast that has people doing these like ridiculous, humiliating pranks.
Yeah.
All for our entertainment while these people earn money. Shout out to Erica. She was like, you ever thought of that? I'm like, no. She lays down some ill shit. She's like, yo, this is like Hunger Games and we're just watching it. It's like, bro. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, y'all, I got to go pee and I have to tell you the juicy details of what I heard.
Okay, give me like 5 minutes to go pee and then call me.
Okay.
Okay. Bye guys. Love you.
See you Inauguration Day.
See ya.
So when you're done getting high, it's over when the party's over. Where you going when the party's over?